deal. He went through the gears. There's the strength there. There's a determination. The DNA now of the signings. Gabriel, we know Saliba. There's strong physical. There he is. He endures. Plenty of pace. Recovery there.
Right, guys, can you hear me, Gary?
He could play. There's no doubt.
You're on mute, Gary. You're on mute.
Yeah, loud and clear, mate.
Excellent, brilliant. Right, guys, sorry about that. I just thought I'd put on a commentary for a bit so that you guys could hear that before I got ready. I was jumping on the stream without an Arsenal top on, and the nearest top that I had to me in my office is my last season's home top. So I got so much Arsenal gear, I keep it in my bedroom now. I used to keep it behind me, and so I'm a little bit off the Arsenal thing. Guys, welcome, Arsenal versus Atalanta. Thank you, guys, for supporting the channel. Thank you for tuning in. I do the reviews for these games because you guys have asked me to do it, so I appreciate the love, guys. I think it's nearly 900 of you watched the review, so as long as you keep watching them, I'll keep doing them, and so I really do appreciate that love today, guys. We've got Emerson joining us as well. They're just talking to Rio Ferdinand and Martin Keown in the chat, so the moment the coverage is kicking off. Gary, how are you, bro? How you doing? How's your week going? How's everything?
Not too bad, mate. Same old, same old. Still can't go to work. Just sitting home watching TV. Different life, man. I can't handle it, mate.
Yeah, lucky you. That means you're catching up on your Netflix shows.
Well, I'm up to date with everything. I just started a new show, and I've done 4 seasons of it in 3 days, I think.
Bloody hell!
60 episodes. I'm a proper binge watcher.
Oh my god! I started Chaos, and then I gave up on episode 4, and I haven't started Agatha yet. Agatha All Along. I haven't started that, so I'll do that tomorrow. Emerson, how are you, bro?
I'm good.
Excellent, guys. Yeah, let's talk about the team sheet, guys. Team sheet, as you can see here, we're going to do a quick rundown of the team sheet at the moment, and then we'll talk about what we think. And just looking at the new stadium that, it's not new, it's renovated, as I pointed out. And there's a lot going on this week in regards to now that's ready for Champions League football. We're not going to talk about Keir Starmer and Arsenal because that's got absolutely nothing to do with football. And he's an Arsenal fan, so it is what it is. Sometimes when the news is dry, people just making up other stuff to watch and talk about, and it's just insane the way TalkSport are just running things right now. But let's talk about team sheet. It's Raya in goal, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Timber, Partey, Rice. I did say in the preview yesterday, didn't I, that Havertz would probably be dropped into that 10 role for Jesus, and that's exactly what he's done. So it's Saka, Martinelli, and Jesus. Strange because, this front line of Saka, Martinelli, and Jesus is something that we saw in the first part of last season, and it didn't do very well. Martinelli and Jesus both going through scoring droughts, which really hurt the team in the run-up towards Christmas, and everybody knows what's happened in that regard. It was changed around. Havertz came in for Jesus, Trossard came in for Martinelli, and the goals started pouring in. So let me go to Gary first. Gary, what's your thoughts on the team sheet?
5 games in a row for Thomas Partey is obviously a concern. I couldn't believe the other day that it was the first time that he had been in the squad for the first few games of the season. But I understand why Arteta wants to go strong first Champions League game of the season. So I suppose you have to allow it. Good to see Declan Rice back. If I was Arteta here, I would probably play Jesus in the 10 and Havertz up top. I think Havertz would cause them more danger up top than he will in the 10. But apart from that, you look at the team and, like you say, that the 3 attacking players, it's really sort of like reliant on Saka, isn't it, to score, because Martinelli and Jesus, they're going through somewhat droughts, especially Martinelli. Jesus obviously wants to do too much most of the time. So where are the goals going to come from in that team? Is a bit of a concern.
So before I go into Emerson, I do want to say because I can feel the energy from you guys now. 18 saying looking forward to a good display from Jesus. He owes us. Keeps getting injured. Doesn't score enough goals. Makes me wonder why we sold Eddie. For me, the wrong guy left the club. Cam saying, evening fellas, why risk Timber and Partey when you have Jorginho and Calafiori there? A draw isn't the worst outcome, but with Partey, we have a history of this. Need to really be cautious with him. And, look, guys, you're not wrong. Yeah, first of all, you're not wrong. But I do point everybody to look, for the last 6 years, we've been used to heavy rotation. Before I come to Emerson, we've been used to heavy rotation because in the Europa League, you can afford to do that. But let me point something out. There are very few changes from City, Liverpool in the Champions League. Maybe 1 or 2 players might get rotated out or changed, but there's very little rotation. This is the Champions League. This is you're playing against the top teams in Europe, the top of their divisions or divisional winners, and there is no room for mistake. There just isn't. So from that point, I can understand why he's done it. But at the same time, I do agree that if you have players like Calafiori, who can easily replace Timber, for me, I can't see how you're going to drop off with Calafiori and Timber. And then obviously Raheem Sterling picking up the slack on Saka as well. Partey, I'm not too sure of, because you can't play Jorginho twice a week. We know that, right? So I understand why Partey's playing. Do I think it's over the top? Yes, because Partey's proven to us that when you bend him enough, he'll break. But there's no excuses for Saka, and there's certainly no excuses for Timber. Timber, as we know, has come off a year, 6 months of ACL or a whole season of ACL. And Saka, we know, is someone who needs to rest because of the sheer amount of minutes he plays. Emerson, let's go on to you. What's your thoughts?
It's a good lineup, but I would have made a few changes myself. I wouldn't have played Gabriel. I would have given him a rest and put, as I said, Calafiori. But as we know, we don't know how fit Calafiori is since he took that injury during the international break. And regarding the midfield, I would have put Jorginho and rest Partey. And like you said, I would have put Havertz, and what Gary said, I would have put Havertz up top and put Jesus in Havertz's position. So that'd be the Ødegaard position, the 10. And the other 2 picks themselves, and Saka and Martinelli. But as I said, Martinelli has to shine tonight and things like that, because we know that it looks like that Trossard looked like he was upset. We got in that game against Spurs when he came off, but thing like that, like he was against Villa. So thing like that. So it's going to be a tough match, but I expect Arsenal to get something out of it. But I can't predict the result, so we'll just have to wait and see what's going to happen. And just to let you know, the teams are in the tunnel on my TV, and we've got the Trossard lookalike referee. If he didn't, so he's not the best referee for us. He's not the best referee for us, so thing like that. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. I mean, like that. So the teams are just coming out on the pitch. Champions League music's blaring. So obviously I can't hear it because I've turned down the volume. Because obviously when we do the podcast, all of us have got our TVs turned down, something like that. So,
which reminds me, can you hear my screen? Can you hear my screen?
No.
Okay,
good.
That's good. Right.
Because you can't hear my one because of.
If you notice, I always tilt my headphones so that this is open and I can hear the screen, and then this one I can hear you guys. The subs bench guys: Neto, Porto, Kivior, Calafiori, Lewis Skelly, Jorginho, Salah, Gower, Sterling, Ranieri, Trossard, and Butler, O'Delly. So that's where we are. Shout out to Obadedi, yeah. Shout out to Nay. Hope you're doing good. Cam says, good point, Apollo. All the top players want to play Champions League football. Look forward to it in the calendar. First game comes around and they don't want the manager end up resting them. So yeah, I get it. I get it, bro. Like I said, I don't see City and Liverpool resting their players. So,
no.
but then I understand the fact that, you know, I understand the fact that, especially with Partey, not too much Saka, because like I said, Saka's been looking forward to this game for all summer. So bless up, Cranky. I've sent you a link on WhatsApp if you want to join. But shout out to Nay as well. Cranky saying Martinelli's got a lot of negative comments over the weekend concerning his play. However, his stats say otherwise. Well, let's see him score. Let's see him create. That's what I want to see. Let's not forget, guys. It's 14 games, no goals or assists for Martinelli. That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
that record can't continue, can it?
Yeah, and I tell you what, Cranky, this reminds me of when, and this isn't so much making the point, but this reminds me because Martinelli's filling in a good defensive role, but he's a winger who's brought on to create and score goals, and that's what he's not doing. I remember when we talked about Kai Havertz in the first 6 months of last season, number one in the team in duels, number one in the team in tackles, second in recoveries. So he was like our top defensive player. Martinelli is not our top defensive player, but he is putting in a shift, and I agree with that. However, he's not doing his business at the top end, which was the reverse for Havertz, because when we put Havertz in the 9, like in the midfield, Havertz was our best midfielder defensively. When we put him up top, then he started banging in goals. So Havertz, regardless where you play him, he's doing the business, right? But with Martinelli, we're just not seeing any end product. But I do agree that he's putting in a defensive shift. But you know, is that what we want? Do we want our attacking forward winger putting in a defensive shift and not scoring goals and not creating? So I think that's a question. Cranky's saying he did create a chance over the weekend. So guys, we're nearly on kickoff. It looks like Jesus is captain today, and we need a huge game from him, guys. And I did say he normally plays well in the Champions League. 4 games, 4 goals and 2 assists last season. Really, and his record has been excellent before that. He just knows how to play in Europe, and that's one thing that is blessed for him. But overall, guys, kickoff's about to start. I do have a special stream coming up for you guys over the weekend. I don't know whether I think it's going to be tomorrow or Saturday. I might do it Saturday. This is going to be just me and you guys talking. It's personal. It's just like a one-on-one with me and you guys. And really all I'm going to do is just talk about my journey on the way here. I'm doing that specifically because 101 on Arsenal is just celebrated its 1,000th video. I can't believe I'm saying it myself, but I looked at it last night. I didn't even realize we're still about 200 and such away from 10,000. And I was going to do this big thing on 10,000, but I thought, why not do it now? Because so much has happened, especially in my life over the 4 years I've been doing YouTube. So I'm probably going to be on Saturday that I'm going to do it. It's just going to be a me and you one-on-one so that we can talk about the journey. Right, game's kicked off. I'm at 10 seconds. Where you at, guys?
35. 35.
Emerson's ahead. I've just got it kicked off now.
Yeah, you know, Emerson must be paying some premium business, you know.
He's watching it on
he's watching it live.
TNT, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah. All of us are watching delayed streams, and as you guys know, I'm on my Xbox. That's where I watch everything on the games console right next to my PC screen. So anytime I watch it on my PC, so I have one screen showing the game on the PC and one with you lot, it lags and it slows down the stream, which I don't like doing that. I do prefer to have another screen here so that I can watch everything.
Yeah, this is going to be a difficult night for Arsenal. They're quite a good team, this Atalanta.
Yeah, I did say that they, when I did the preview, I did say that they've got off to a bit of a rocky start so far this season. 4 games, 2 wins, 2 losses. They got battered 4-0 against Inter Milan. And we saw Inter Milan draw City 0-0 last night. But you can see here Arsenal just rotating the ball out and playing the long ball to Jesus. That's not really Jesus's forte there. And we've got 2 years of data with Jesus as a forward, and it just hasn't worked. And you know the worst thing about it, guys? Every time Jesus, the last 2 times he started as a forward for Arsenal, guess what happened? We lost 2-0 to Aston Villa, and we lost to Fulham. So it just doesn't work. So, but this is the Champions League. It's different from the Premier League. He does really well in this competition. So let's see. Right, 2 minutes and 15 seconds gone. And again, the team's just really feeling each other out at the moment. Arsenal in their home kit. First bit of action is Lookman. We really got to watch out for Lookman, man. Really got to watch out for him. It's going to be difficult it's going to give the Arsenal defense a lot of difficulty. And you can see, as I pointed out in my preview last night, that Havertz has indeed slotted into that number 10 role. I just want us to more so play like we did against Tottenham, guys, where not too much pressing, understanding that we have a game to play in the next 3 days, which is going to be huge. It's a good pass there from Raya. That's nice.
Saka just takes the first chance, but gets deflected well wide.
Excellent. And you can see there, Saka winning the ball when it's being played out the back. Thomas Partey slips the ball in to Jesus. Saka takes the ball and tries to curl it. And yeah, it's a big miss from him.
It's got out for a corner there. How that went for a corner, I do not know.
Yeah, and guys, look, Arsenal just really in third gear. And that's what I want to see. I want to see the Spurs tactics. I want to see them come in and low-key this game. Not too much pressure, not using up too much energy, keeping that energy in reserve, just recycling the ball, counter-press football. That's really what I want to see today. Corner to Arsenal. Good to see Declan Rice back in the team taking the corner. It's a decent corner. Goalkeeper gets, I'm not going to say punches it out. It more like he was wearing mittens, Gary.
I haven't seen it yet, mate. I'm behind all of you.
It's more like I'm 4 minutes and 30 seconds at the moment.
Yeah, I'm 3:50. Declan Rice has just trotted over to take the corner.
I thought you had IPTV the same as me.
Yeah, I have, yeah.
Yeah, bro, change the channel, man. Remember, they do a HD, and then they do a normal.
I've currently changed it to Super Sports in South Africa.
Oh, right. Man,
I'm at 4 minutes. I'm at 4 minutes 20 now.
Oh, that's slightly better. I'm at 5 minutes.
Yeah, let me change it again. I'll find another one. 1 second.
Yeah, because
Havertz gets a chance, but
the thing about IPTV
Havertz gets a chance, it goes wide.
They've got a HD version and they've got a SD version. It's like Sky, right? Sky would have 4 channels showing the game. They would have main event standard, main event HD, and then Sky Premier League standard and Sky Premier League. So I flip between the 4 of them and see which ones are quickest.
I've literally got like Ultra HD, HD, SD, Super SD, Super HD, whatever you name it, I've got it.
So you can see Havertz just having a chance there.
Just scored for Leipzig in Madrid against Atletico.
Wow. So you can see there, Jesus just holding onto the ball. Havertz taking the ball, charging into the box on his right foot. So it's his weaker foot. Oh, let me get the banner on. Sorry, guys, I totally forgot about the banner. Oh, not that banner. We don't want that banner.
No, leave it up. Leave it up.
Oh boy. Hey, listen. How long did the after party last for that one, man? After party went on
the Havertz chance there.
Yeah,
that's when he's got to cut that back. If you look at that, Declan Rice is arriving unmarked on the edge of the box.
Yeah, and as I said, it's on his weaker foot, so you can see he doesn't really catch it. Yeah, the one thing that I thought was strange that, okay, Jesus is given the armband. He's the captain. Anybody thought that was going to go to Declan Rice?
No, I thought it was Saka.
Yeah.
I thought it was Saka.
Saka's vice captain. Saka's vice captain.
Yeah, so if he's vice captain, he should get the captaincy when Ødegaard's not on the pitch, right?
Yeah, it's weird.
And also, if you notice, guys, he hasn't got his dreadlocks.
Who's that?
Jesus.
Jesus. He hasn't got his dreadlocks.
He had plaits, didn't he, on against Spurs?
Yes, you're right. So he's gone for the Mohican look now. You know, this is what he had in the last World Cup. Actually,
I'm at 6:50 now. Where are you, Apollo?
7:40.
Oh, man, you're still a minute ahead of me. What the hell?
And I'm just over 8 minutes.
So you're about you're about 10 or 15 seconds ahead of me. Which isn't too bad because I know Emerson doesn't like to get too excited when we score, so it's not.
As long as there's no Emerson, as long as there's none of this putting up your hand.
No, but he does it because he doesn't seem to be on a delay tonight for some reason. Some nights he's on a 2 or 3 second delay, so I try to give him as much space as possible. But he sounds like he's
15 kittens on Sunday against Spurs, man, putting up his hand. I was waiting for the bad news to follow, man. Right, let's have a look. Where we go now?
I tell you what, guys, Arsenal dominating the midfield play. Just dominating the midfield play. This is where Atalanta is going to find it very difficult to break Arsenal down tonight. Just the midfield play of Arsenal, the ball retention. Arsenal's so good on the ball, so good at inviting pressure and being able to beat traps. They're just so good at it, knowing where to find their guys, good movement, finding players that are open. And that's unfortunately going to be an issue for Atalanta. You can see here, look, Partey just lost possession of that one. Arsenal just tackle so well. But I did say to you guys that I doubt if you'll see a lot of pressing from Arsenal, and that's exactly what's happening. Arsenal now not really showing that much press, trying to keep a compact shape.
And also, Gary, just let you know your favourite under 21s players playing as well as a sub. Sorry, Nathan Butler. No, Nathan Butler. Deji.
Saying that though, Emerson, he scored a few goals.
Yeah, leading goal scorer at the moment.
Well, the Carling Cup game's coming up soon, and I cannot wait to see these guys get their chance.
Oh, did they?
I think that's the game he'll play. I think he'll play in that game.
Yeah.
Sorry. I just found another stream and then I turned it off because I thought I was way behind. So I'm on 10 minutes 20 now.
Oh, same as me.
Oh, you're catching up then. You're catching up then.
My son went to me, "What you doing?" I said, "No, that was only 9 minutes." He went, "Yeah, but they just said they was on 8." I said, "Oh, okay."
Oh, look, man, just trying to beat Ben White on a header there on a deep cross. Let it roll
didn't
out.
look like it missed by much, did it?
Yeah, I thought you said you was trying to find a stream and then you found one of them Brazilian butt sites. So,
no.
Yeah, it does happen, bro. I haven't had that problem. I haven't had that problem since IPTV. Here comes Havertz. Havertz comes on the break, goes to Jesus, cycles it around to Partey. Not a lot of movement from Arsenal in the box. but you do see Martinelli, Havertz pushes up from that number 10 to be an option in the box.
Oh, he's pulled him back there. Sure, it's a free kick. Yeah, free kick on the edge of the box.
Yeah.
And a yellow card. And a yellow
card for the defensive midfielder.
Ederson.
I think he pulled Saka's arm down, didn't he? Dragged Saka's arm.
He pulled Saka back. Yeah. Saka would have been clean through there, for a shot on goal.
Yeah, you can see. Yeah, you can see that there. Yeah, he pulls him down. Yellow card.
He would have been clean through there. That's lucky. That's not a red, because he's entering into the box, and the next action there for him would have been to shoot.
Who takes his free kick? I think it's Jesus who takes it.
Oh, please not Jesus.
Saka.
Really?
Yeah, Saka's got the ball. Jesus is nowhere to be seen, thank God.
Funny, I don't know how good Saka is on the dead ball.
Well, the thing is, you can't trust Jesus to score from 6 yards out, let alone 20.
No, he can hit a dead ball, mate. Don't get it twisted. Jesus can hit a dead ball, man. Don't get it twisted, bro.
Oh,
I don't know how good Saka is.
No, Martinelli's just come out to have a little chat. You'd have to put your faith in Saka, wouldn't you? Because he takes the corners.
Agreed. Most important conversation of the night, guys. After this free kick, we're going to talk about it.
Ødegaard injury.
What's that, Emerson?
That Ødegaard injury.
Yeah. We'll talk about that, and we'll talk about what's happening on the pitch in regards to Ødegaard.
Saka goes close to the free kick. Goalkeeper saves it.
Ooh, at least he gets it on target.
Yeah, the goalkeeper makes nearly a meal of it. He saves it, a thing like that, because Partey throws up.
No, there's no meal made there, mate. That is an excellent save.
That's a good save. Yeah, it's a good save.
A brilliant save, because I think he's taken a little step the other way, and when it comes back, that's a solid hand, man.
Yeah,
because that's almost under, that just catches his finger.
It's actually a very smart free kick from Saka, because goalies are looking to go topside, aren't they? And he puts it low and hard.
That is an excellent save, man.
Yeah, it's a very good save.
And I don't know how they've given it a goal kick, because I'm sure that if when you look at that come off the keeper last. But guys, no Martin Ødegaard, and what you can see is replacing him is a very difficult thing to do. But I did say the only guy that we have that can do it at the moment is Havertz. And if you look in this game, positionally, Havertz really, really playing well, really finding them holes. He's putting through because we know he creates. He's got 6 assists in his last 15 starts. So we know that Havertz can do that. And Havertz just making that number 10 role look really easy. And so we know Havertz has adapted an 8. He's adapted the number 9 role, and then he comes in here at number 10, and he's just making it look very fluid, a lot better than how Trossard did over the weekend. So he's a player that can play in multiple positions, and he does it all of them equally as well.
Yeah, effortlessly. And so just wanted to point that out, guys, in regards to how this game has changed and what we're probably going to look like against Manchester City as well. A lot of you guys know as well, Jesus hasn't had as much luck playing against his old team in terms of him scoring goals. So if this is the look for Sunday, I welcome it, and I dare him to score against his old team. On to Martin Ødegaard. We discussed him and we talked about him, and guys, I'm
defending Declan Rice.
I'm not always privy to talk to you guys in the open media about the news that I get every day for 2 reasons. Number one, because I don't want it to sort of fall back on my sources. And number 2, if I gave you the updates that I get of Martin Ødegaard every day, you'd get really turned and confused, because this thing develops on a day-by-day basis in regards to how they treated it, how he said he could play, how the light running caused inflammation, and then all the cryotherapy. And so I get that every day. But for some of you guys, it's tiresome listening to it, because there's only one thing on your mind, which is, can he play? And the truth is, and this is the utmost truth, is they don't know that. They don't know where he is at the moment. You guys want a date. You want to know, when is he going to be back? Can he start in this game? Can he start in that game? And I can tell you from first-hand sources, they just don't have that information. They just don't know. And a lot of this was predicated on the fact that Ødegaard wanted to play. And you know, Arteta got the final decision and said no. And it was the right decision by Arteta, because there seems to be more to this.
They was
injury.
checking for a possible red card there for Havertz. I'm sure they were.
Yeah, VAR had look, but they overturned it.
Nothing in that. He was colliding with that Ederson, didn't he?
So the thing I can say about Ødegaard at the moment is, from where I know things to be, it's roughly between 2 to 4 weeks on a day-by-day basis. That means that it could change tomorrow. It could change the day after that, depending on the rest that he gets now. You can see Havertz now here up in attack. And we've got Timber, who's pushed up in an advanced situation. Havertz, though, really do just want to throw in. Havertz, I'd like to see his heat map. He's back on the back four. He's on the left. He's through the middle. He's on the right. Just Havertz giving us everything today. Here he is picking up the throw in.
Throw the damn ball, Timber, man. Jesus.
Apollo, regarding the Ødegaard injury, is he using that ice chamber thing that that I was talking about?
Yeah, cryotherapy is in there twice a day.
Yeah, that ice thing.
Yeah,
and then
I thought as much
because over the top from,
because I know because someone's told me they've got all the up-to-date technology at the training ground, like an MRI scan, so they don't have to go to like a local hospital.
They never used to have that, but since, to quite frankly, it was Arteta's idea, because that's what Manchester City was the first team in the Premier League to do cryotherapy. You guys have probably seen all these funny videos in America where they sit in the ice tubs, the big silver long tubs filled with ice and water, and really they use that. But cryotherapy is a state-of-the-art machine which you can use to control the temperature down to minus 30. Yeah, well, no, it's an actual cubicle. It's like walking into a TARDIS.
But don't they put dry ice into the cubicle?
That's right, yeah. And then you can control it from there. And this thing increases the healing time by a factor of 6. So could you imagine if somebody was out for 6 weeks with an issue, they could be back playing within 7 to 10 days. That's how good this thing is. And it's state of the art. Not a lot of teams are using it actually, but it's really good in terms of recovery speed, especially when you're talking about inflammation, swelling, which is what the body does in order to fix an injury. All the blood rushes to an area, and that's where you get inflammation. So the cryotherapy is really, really good at the moment. And yeah, Ødegaard's having quite a lot of that. But I think what it is the fact that there'll only be swelling if he's active. So he has to be active in order to prop the swelling. And that's what tells them whether there's a problem or not. So it's really been a messy week as far as that's concerned. But I'll keep my guys updated on the panelists as much as I can. But as I said, it is a day-to-day thing that they're working with now. And there's no real true timeline.
Say that, Gary?
Did he give a foul throw against Ben White there? Or did Ben White take the throw from the wrong place and then he give the throw back to...
No, he took it okay. He took it okay.
Yeah, then why did it go back for a throw to Atlanta then?
I thought it was a foul throw.
I must admit.
Yeah, remember when Bellerin had 5 of those in one season?
Criminal at this level, man. Criminal.
It is. It's mad. To be honest with you, they reckon about 25% of throws are foul throws. The refs just don't. It's like in basketball. A lot of people double dribble, but they just let them get away with it, because if he was to pull up everybody for it, the game would be slowed down. So most of the times the refs just let it go.
Another question for you, Apollo.
Yep.
If you're listening, I was just watching a podcast before I came on here with you guys. I ain't gonna say who it is, but you can imagine who would ask that question. He asks, has Setford gone on loan, or I know he didn't travel with the team because they got another youngster on the bench. Thing like that. So, is there any news that Setford is either injured or was it COVID that he picked up? Because I know Ødegaard, the Danish keeper, he's got a broken thumb. He should be playing back. He should be playing in 2 weeks' time.
I heard that Setford was going to go into the under-21. Just let go of the ball, Jesus. Honestly.
So that Gary, I didn't hear that bit.
What's that,
Gary? I didn't hear that bit.
Gary?
I didn't hear it.
I heard that Stepford was going into the under-21s. He'd been with the first team in the USA and he hadn't had time because they didn't obviously get Neto until late. So he was kind of the number 2 for a little while. And
Gary, he hasn't played a game for the under-21s this season as yet.
Because he's been with the first team.
That's right. And then, as I said,
in America, and then they didn't get Neto until late, did they? So
yeah, and it's going to be tricky as well next week. It's going to be tricky in next Monday's under-21s match and the Carabao Cup. It'll be interesting to see which youngsters is going to play in either of those games.
Yeah, because look, we've got. I mean, Jack Porter's only 16 years old, the goalkeeper that we've had, and he's only made 7 academy appearances. So it's really weird to see him where he is. Ranieri, we haven't got a problem. He's played for Arsenal 3 times now. Jimmy Gower, I think, is interested, and I'll tell you why. Because he's been at the academy since 2020. He's 19 years old, so he's actually past the conform age of the academy and really should be making first team appearances. He's very experienced. He's had 62 games in the academy. So really, Jimmy Gower's one of them guys that you either see him in the first team or he goes on loan or gets sold. So does that make sense?
Well, Paula, I got a feeling he'll go on loan in January.
Yeah.
Personally, I think he'll go on loan because quite a few will go on loan. Because as I said, if we get knocked out against Bolton early in the Carabao Cup, then you're looking at a loan spell. And don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if we see Tierney in the Carabao Cup squad next week.
Still injured.
Don't be surprised.
He's still injured, is he?
He may be injured, but as I said, he's doing ball work with Arsenal. Don't be surprised if he's in the squad for that game next Tuesday.
Yeah, because as I said, 19, when you talk about academy, that's really
terrible touch. Martinelli, come on, man.
That's really, really old. Yeah, Martinelli, just a heavy first touch then from him.
But who remembers them dark days when we used to hate playing Bolton?
Oh, yeah, bro.
That was in the 90s.
We used to hate playing Bolton. They always used to turn us over.
Yeah, Bolton and Stoke. What was Thomas Partey thinking there with that silly little flick? And so the other person obviously who is aged up, 21 years old, is Salah. And Salah, again, 27 appearances for the academy. And he's impressed. Yeah, he's had several loan spells, lots of injuries. And so this is his make or break year because he'll be 22 next year.
He just dived in front of the quick free kick with a sliding tackle.
And then the other guy, Nathan Butler.
Gary's mate.
Yeah, and he's had 80. So he's had the most experienced academy player. Yeah, he's had 80 appearances for the academy. 21 years old. Something's going to happen with him this season.
Who's second? Who's second?
So Lewis Skelly has got 47 appearances. Ranieri, God, how many games has Ranieri played? No, I think Ranieri has played. Oh, look, we just lost Emerson's about to answer that. I'm not sure how many games Ranieri's played for the academy. So it might be Ranieri, you know. Yeah, I think it might be Ranieri. The problem with that is he's 17. So guys, here comes Atalanta. Cross comes in, and Arsenal really keeping them. There've been no threat at all to Arsenal whatsoever. I don't think Raya's had a save to make. Yeah, but I'm just saying, tail of the tape. Arsenal's not had a save to make.
Neither goalkeeper, apart from obviously the Atlanta goalkeepers made that save from
big
Saka's
save, bro. Big save, bro.
Yeah, I mean that was a good save, man. I'd be proud if my son made that save in the game. I'd be ultra happy.
Yeah, but I mean, Arsenal have been the better team.
And where he's played 32 games for the academy.
Right. So I knew it. I knew because he's 17, mate. Does that make sense? Some of these guys are 19, 20, 21. He's only 17. So
do you know what the case used to be? Like obviously in the days of Wenger, the Carabao Cup or Coca-Cola, whatever it was called back then, I can't even think about what it was called. There's so many names.
Little Woods.
Rumbelows. The Rumbelows Cup, man. Do you remember the shop Rumbelows, the electronical shop?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, back in the days of Wenger, it was all kids, wasn't it? With a couple of first teamers, so we never really used to take it seriously. But I remember once we got to the final, then in the quarterfinal, all the big players that come into the team. We lost to Birmingham.
I just want to say shout out to one of my subscribers. Big up to you, brother. He says, I met you at a school trip in Kew Gardens, pictures hanging on the wall in my bedroom. Yeah, I remember you guys. I actually wondered when you guys were going to come on. So shout out to all of you lot. Big up Gunners. And I hope you're enjoying the stream. Hope you're enjoying the game as well. As I said to Gary, we've been really dominant in this game. The stats show it. They have had 1 shot, none on target. And Arsenal have had 5 shots, 2 on target. Layla scored 1, pulled off a great save from a goalkeeper. And so, look, we're keeping them busy. And it's all because of what's happening in the midfield. They can't seem to be going past our gap play. Also, I've noticed as well, we are starting to show some pressure. There's not real press, but we're starting to show some pressure.
Havertz and Jesus have switched, Apollo.
That's okay. That's new. When did that happen? That's new.
I don't just see it just there in that play where they was pressing. Maybe Havertz was just doing the pressing.
Yeah,
and Jesus was covering. I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I look, I think they've started well. I think I've seen enough from the team to know that they can go in against Man City on Sunday with Havertz at the 10. Cam says, he's talking to Footy FC, says we're not taking advantage of this dominant first 25 minutes. Our players love making dumb decisions. Yeah, it's the little bit of sharpness. It happens, doesn't it? And we always see that lack of clinical finishing. As Lookman just looks lost. He looks like Lostman rather than Lookman, doesn't he? But he's very, very dangerous, as I said in my
previous and that's a great opportunity that they've just put wide.
Yeah. I saw it. He tried to get a bend on it. Although, if you look at the way Raya saves, it looks like he's got it covered.
But to be honest there, I mean, Declan Rice has had to come across to cover that. I don't know. He ain't got that covered, mate. If that's on target, that's in the net. That's in the top corner. He ain't saving that.
Yeah, it looks like he's got it covered. Cam says going to be a hard few months with unless Arteta finds a solution for the Ødegaard hole. Well, he's found the solution, and that's Havertz. He's found the solution, bro. Appreciate the love. Footy FC has donated to the channel. I appreciate that, bro. Much appreciated. And big shout out to you, man. Big shout out to you. And tell your friends I said, what's good, man? Tell them I said, what's up?
Oh, so guys, that's unlucky.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Unlucky, Saka.
I think Atalanta enjoying a good spell at the moment. And Arsenal, and I talked to you a little bit about this, Gary. Arsenal got into this spell of a low block and are quite happy to be patient and sit back and let the game develop to them. They have had the better chances on the stat sheet. They're in control of this game. So that's what's happening now. Arsenal just sitting back a little bit, playing a bit patient. 31 minutes gone in this game. And now the hosters, Atalanta, finding a little bit more spells. of space now to put some pressure on Arsenal.
Saka.
Excellent.
Well done, Saliba. Oh, then he gives it away. What are you doing? Just clear the ball, mate.
Yeah, I think he thinks that Saka's right there, isn't it?
He was trying to find Saka, but in that situation, just clear the ball.
Yeah.
That's it. Like that. Exactly like he's just done there. That's it. Now we've beaten.
Oh, guys.
Oh, Jesus. Come on, man. He's looking over his rubbish. He's looking over his right shoulder, and the ball's got played to his left.
Do you think the referee should have given a foul?
No. Nah.
Yeah,
he's just looking over the wrong shoulder. He's
going for it.
The ball's
These
not going
Brazilians
to come
do that.
The ball's not going to come to your right because that's where the defender is. It's going to come to the other side. Yeah,
the Brazilians do that. Look at Richarlison. He goes down with the touch of a feather. Cam says Partey's level from 2 years ago is long gone. Too safe with his passing. No, I actually think he's just as good as he was then, mate. And I think if anything, he's got more seasoned. And Partey's going to have to learn to do this. Now he's 30. He's going to have to learn to, what do they say? 1 step backwards, 2 steps forwards, or something like that. He's just going to have to learn to slow the game down a little bit and be more smart with his play. Cam says we are doing all the groundwork to score from a set piece.
He's got to play more with his head, Thomas Partey.
Yeah.
Use his smarts.
Oh, that's off.
Yeah, we got the throw.
It's a little bit. It's like what Martinelli has to do. Sometimes you have to slow down in order to speed up. Let your sort of brain take over from the speed of what your body's used to doing. And Martinelli, God knows he needs to do that. He'll be a much better player for it.
Throw the damn ball, Timberman. Why does it take us so long to take a throw in?
It's been a gutsy game. A lot of people said, even I said in the stream of the preview, that we could be looking at a 0-0 or 1-0 game here. Really tight.
To go here and draw is no mean feat because these lot turn over so many teams. They took Leverkusen out of the final, didn't they?
Yeah, that's right.
They're not a bunch of idiots. They know how to play.
Yeah.
They've done Liverpool, didn't they, last season?
That's correct.
So they're not a pushover by any means. But I just think, like I said, when we've got Martinelli in that, sometimes it hampers us a little bit. Like, where's the goals going to come from? Havertz is playing deep. We haven't got no one that's prolific, or apart from Havertz, but he's playing in the 10.
True.
I know a lot of people said about Martinelli's defensive work, and it is a good side of his game, but ultimately he's there to create and score goals, right?
Let's not get it twisted. He's not that great. He's adapt. He fits his role. He's not a great defensive player. I think some people are just going a little bit over the top with the defensive
side of his game, like his work ethic, he's great.
Yeah,
he tracks back, he helps out his fullback. Yeah. He's got the pace to get up and down. That's the good side of his game, like what I call like the great side of his game. I don't mean like he's a great defender like in the league of William Saliba, but he does the work that's necessary. But what you want to see from him ultimately is goals, attempts on target, proper attempts, not like back passes like against Spurs. I'm talking about making the keeper make a proper save.
That's right. Yeah.
And we was having a conversation in the forum, and saying about in tight games you may only get 1 or 2 chances, and you have to take one of them, or you have to at least make the keeper make a blinding save, because you may not. The opportunities are so few and far between, and that's the attempt that he had against Tottenham. He should have done a lot better with that.
Well, Cam says you were right about Havertz. Havertz has been impressive in the midfield. Jesus trying hard, but not really making anything happen right now. I prefer Eddie, to be honest. And then he goes on to say,
Eddie's scoring goals for Palace, mate.
You wait to see it just explode on Palace. Cam said, and it's the same with Smith Rowe. Look, we always know that Smith Rowe and Eddie were going to do well where they went. Cam says, Arteta yelling at Partey and Rice for some reason. And yeah, and that's because of the shape. But when I talk to you about the low block, and they've got to know when to go, when to put the heat on, when to press, and when to sit back and invite Atalanta on. And so Arteta just wants to make sure that they get that. Because that's important to this game. You've got to game manage. You've got to manage this game. You've got to manage it in the right way. How many times do we see Manchester City go away and they don't pressure, they just sit back and just allow the game to slowly come to them. And then when they want, they can just switch it on in the turn of a hat.
See, that's the Jesus reason. Jesus is now in the 8. He's in his own half.
Yeah, but as long as Havertz is at the point, then I ain't got a problem with that. The problem is, Gary, when Jesus is playing the number 9, this is what he does. And it's like, oh, hold on, bro. You're supposed to be on the top of the line as the anchor.
This is why I said to you, it would be better to play him in the 10 and Havertz up top, because Havertz can hold the ball up and allow others to come into the game. Jesus doesn't have really that quality because he's always looking to do some type of Brazilian nut foolishness. Always wants to do 100 step overs and lose the ball rather than just lay off a pass and go again.
Very strange what Atalanta did there. They 4 players sat on David Raya's penalty area.
Oh, look at that. They've opened us up here. Look. They can play this lot.
Yeah, they can play for sure. I mean, they won 3-0 at Anfield. You know, that's no easy feat. And the thing is, they're at home. Now
everyone's dropped deep, and there's no one to pick up their centre backs.
Yeah.
So they can pass the ball back, but we're dropped into 7. What's it? A 6-3, 6-3-1.
Yes, Lookman just not in the game at all today.
Yeah, do you know what? He just played a little ball there and their other player should have done a lot better with that.
Yeah, that's right.
Because he had a free run into the box.
18 saying, we can't lose this game, guys. No, look, I think we've been on top of them, and I think we're managing the game really well. It's 39 minutes gone, and I think if I was Arteta, I'd be happy with this first half display. First of all, we've been defensively stout. Secondly, your number 10 fill-in has been really good in this game. Havertz has been a good fit-in for Martin Ødegaard here, and so I like the way how the midfielders manage the game. I'd like to see a little bit more from Jesus and Declan Rice, though. I would like to see a little bit more from them. I always remember that game last season when the season before when Jesus was playing against PSG and he had that assist on the halfway line and the goal. He can do that for you in the Champions League. Very productive player. But Declan Rice needs a dominant game. He needs a good game. He needs a dominant game. It's over 40 minutes played now, guys. And guys, remember, we are playing away from home in the Champions League. And quite frankly, for the first 30 minutes, we were the better team. And then the last 10 minutes now, you can see from what Arteta's told the team to do, more of a low block setup. Just being patient, as I said before. You can see him writing notes down on his pad, Arteta. And he just wants to weather the storm now until half-time so that he can then make some changes in. And he'd be really happy with this first half. The disappointment here is with Atalanta. Atalanta won't like this result so far. They haven't been in control of this game.
Did you see that defender from Thomas Partey, Apollo?
Yeah.
He's facing his own goal. with his back to their players' back, and the ball just drops to the geezer's feet, and he's able just to walk away from Thomas Partey because he's facing a complete opposite way.
It's madness.
I've never seen defending like that ever.
But you know, Atalanta is going to have to figure out what they're going to do to try and get a foothold in this game, because you know you can commit to more men forward to help, but then you're playing against Arsenal. What the hell header was that from Urin Timber?
50p head. Come off one of the corners, bro.
Yeah, madness. It looks like he's trying to head it forward and it goes the other way.
He overrun it. He got up too much underneath it.
Yeah.
And Arsenal clear again.
Yeah, you can see they clear it again. That's Thomas Partey there.
That's it.
Did a great job in the back five on the weekend.
Come on, Jesus.
Yeah, it's a great ball from Saka there, letting Jesus in, but Jesus gets himself
the first touch is
all kind of
wrong.
trouble.
You know, and then he fouls Kolasinac. The first touch was terrible. Oh man, it's not even a foul. Kolasinac ran into him.
Yeah.
It's like Kolasinac can handle some knife-wielding robbers, but he can't handle Jesus in a body.
So, guys, it's nearly 43 minutes gone. And as I said, in regards to the shots, Arsenal's had 5 shots and Atalanta have had 2. And let's have a look at that breakdown while I've got you guys on here. So the shot breakdown that we've got here, let me blow that up a little bit more. So you can see here, Arsenal here have a shot which was on target here, shot which was on target here, 5 shots in total. Oh. And Atalanta, only 2 shots that they've had, both have missed the target.
Come on, we're sloppy there. Partey played the nick to little ball in, Martinelli overrun it. And then Gabriel gets caught. Lucky enough, the Atalanta player knocks it out of play for a throw to Arsenal.
Yeah, for me, I mean, the game has really summed up the frustration of Jesus. Just trying to collect. He's running into those positions, and the lack of control is just not being able to get him the break that he needs. It's really weird. I mean, this guy, you wonder why the goal tally is not as high as it can be. It's just missing those little touches there. Raya goes long.
Cut out by Kolasinac.
Yeah, it's an Arsenal throw-in. Ben White's had a steady game. I thought he's done really well defending Lookman. I think he's done really, really well there.
Yeah, Lookman hasn't been involved at all, really, so that's a bonus.
Yeah.
Now can we cross it, Martinelli? What are you doing, Martinelli? That's it? What are you going to do? Oh, come on. So sloppy. Why has Gabriel left that?
Wow.
He's got to go for that. Martinelli's never going to reach that.
Yeah. And that's really been our forward play, really. Just sloppy. That sums up our forward play for this half. Just been really, really sloppy.
Martinelli just can't get into this game. Everything he tries is just falling way short. And
that's got to be confidence, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But when your confidence is like that, sometimes you just need to, like, I don't know, bang one from 20 yards off, 25 yards and see what happens. But see that when he's got the ball there on the left, he goes out on the outside, which is not his strongest foot. What he should be doing is faking to go outside, coming inside and banging it with his right foot to the far corner. We never see him do this. And this is what a Sterling would give you, a Trossard gives you. But Martinelli I've never seen him do that. I've never seen him score that goal. Can you recall him scoring that goal?
No, I can't. Emerson's saying that there's 1 minute added on. Cam's saying Rice needs to stop running out wide. Needs to stay centrally and try the progressive runs. What you have to remember, guys, a lot of Martinelli's problem has come because of the lack of support that he's had on that side. We've seen what happens when he scored 15 goals there. He had good support from Xhaka. It's half time. Yeah, good support from Xhaka, but Zinchenko and Declan Rice really struggled to facilitate him, and that's one of the reasons, guys, why they've bought Mikel Moreno. That's one of the reasons why you've got a guy like him, because you can help to give that support on that left-hand side. And so there's still hope for Martinelli. Yeah, I don't think it's I don't think it's a time that Arsenal fans should give up on him by any means. He's still 22 years old, still a lot of development there. But when you look at the amount of support Saka gets on the right, with the overlays and triangles from Ben White and Martin Ødegaard, Martinelli most of the time doesn't really get that. And most of that is by design, because then when you recycle and switch play, in other words, you flood the right, and then when the defense tries to hoard and pack that area to stop Saka, and then you switch it quickly, and then that frees up Martinelli in one-on-one situations. And so that's been the plan for quite a long time with Arsenal. But the problem, and that was key to Martinelli getting those 15 goals as well. But lately it just hasn't been working. He's not been making the right decisions offensively to do anything. So guys, Arsenal 0, Atalanta 0. Let me change the banner here so you guys can see what's going on. Here we go. Yes. So what's your thoughts at half-time? Gary, what's your thoughts?
I think both teams really cancelled out each other. Neither team's had much of an attacking threat. We've obviously caused them slight more problem than they've caused us. But, it's an age-old thing, isn't it? Jesus at the 9. He's had a couple of opportunities where he could have done slightly better, like the ball that Havertz plays. I don't know why he's looking over his right shoulder, because the defender is on his right side, so the ball has to go to his left. The ball has to be played to his left. And he looks over the right shoulder, and by the time he's done that, the defender's across to snuff it out. Little things like that, I don't quite understand. Seen him, probably the chance that Saka, there was a chance that from a shot that Saka had that went for the corner. Well, Jesus actually got played through, and he cuts inside, and then it looks like he had this little slight probably opportunity to hit the ball with his left foot, but he took another touch, and that's when it ran into Saka, who had the shot first time, which went for the corner. So obviously he's been out injured. He hasn't had much of a pre-season, missed the first few games, so maybe he's a little bit slow, not up to game speed. But you just want to see these little chances in tight games that they make all the difference, So you just want to see maybe just getting shots away a little bit earlier, holding the ball up, releasing it, and then making another run, rather than trying to do what he does, which is trying to beat everyone and really just doing too much on the ball. But Martinelli hasn't been involved at all, really. Like I said, just anything he tries, it's just not happening. Do
you think also sometimes, and we call it combination play, where you're trying to fit the right, instead of square pegs and round holes, you're trying to put the right plays in the right positions to affect a game. And when you look at the Spurs game, and you saw what they did with Trossard, putting him at the 10, we can see now from Havertz's display today, that is probably the wrong decision to put Trossard at the 10. But then you can see today, Trossard actually would have been more impactful in the 9 row, playing up front with Havertz behind him. But yet we have Jesus doing that. So it's really weird, isn't it? Because you've got all these little pieces you're trying to...
Yeah, sometimes I don't quite understand what goes through the manager's thinking, because Trossard doesn't really start, when he starts games, he doesn't seem to have the impact that he does when he's the substitute. But there is times, like against the Spurs, when he made a run, he didn't receive the ball, and he casually walked back on side, then received the ball, and then put Martinelli away for the chance that he just passed back to the goalkeeper. So Trossard gives you a high level of technical ability in the 10. He's not going to do the dirty work that Havertz does in the 10, like the back, up, down. He's not that player. But what I don't understand with Martinelli is he seems to be suffering so much on the left, because he, like we was just saying, I've never seen him drop the shoulder, cut inside, and literally curl one into the far corner. I don't know if any of you in the chat can remember him scoring a goal like that, but I can't. And Apollo said he can't. But that's sometimes when you playing on the opposite foot, your strength is to cut in onto your strong foot and aim for that far post. And
so, guys, let's look at the halftime breakdown. Arsenal, you can see here, as I said, 5 shots, very dominant performance in the first 25, 30 minutes. And then they just dropped back and relaxed to conserve energy. One of you mentioned that he was shouting at Rice and Partey and after about 35 minutes. And that was because he wanted them to play a more of a mid-block game and be a little bit more patient rather than sort of stress your energy out for 2 reasons. One, because you've got to let this game come to you so that you can find space. And 2, because we've got to play Man City in 3 days. So the manager there is just trying to manage the game. We'll have chances and we'll have spots in the second half. And so really he just wanted to get the team to be more composed and patient towards the end of the first half. Shots on target 2. I think one of them was a really good save from Saka's free kick. And I think that if it wasn't for that goalkeeper making that clutch save, and he's got to get down really quick. And a free kick like that, goalkeeper's always looking for the ball to go high, top left, top right. Most people are trying to get the ball over the line, not around the line. And Saka's smart this time. He goes around the line.
With that save, you're talking a millisecond later, that's in, because it just catches the bottom of his bottom finger, just underneath his bottom finger.
Yep. Cranky says, let me know when the game starts. And then obviously percentage of possession, 55 to them, 45 to us. Right way we won it. Final third passes completed. They have 60. We have 44. No. So again, they're talking about the game here. Let me turn the volume up so we can hear. They put that down, that barrier. Martin Keown. They have to flood back into position to get in there, and they do that work. The manager applauding it because he knows that's the order of the day. Because when you play against this Atalanta team, their movement's excellent. They put lots of bodies forward, or even sending one of the centre halves forward. So you've got to be able to get bodies back behind the ball. Arsenal have done that very well. They have done that very well. They had the best chance, didn't they, with that Saka free kick? Yeah, actually a very good save. Which is what we just talked about. Maybe I'm not sure if the wall is right for him, but nonetheless he makes the save. I'm not sure it was a goal kick after, but he gets down low, good hand to that, and Saka nearly putting Arsenal ahead. Nearly did. What about this man, Riccardo? Yeah, look at his movement. He comes late. This is difficult for a defender. You need communication, people telling you, but once he's there, lays it off. The awareness is great. His movement's been so cute. Look how late he comes across. He's not standing there waiting. If he's standing there waiting, it makes it easier for Gabriel to pick him up. The fact he comes late, the surprise. So they're talking about Riccardo. Yeah. They need to keep him quiet. And then if Atalanta put the ball in the box a bit earlier, as Robbie said in the commentary, they'll have more opportunities, I think. Yeah. Catalara as well joins in really well. Yeah. Almost impossible to pick him up from midfield. Lots for Arsenal to be aware of then going into this second half. Mikel Arteta's navigating such a tough week, isn't he? North London derby victory on Sunday. He's got Manchester City coming up. But in this match, he can't seem to find a breakthrough. What's he wondering? We'll find out what he does in the second half. That's okay.
He definitely won't make any changes.
Yeah, no, I said this to you guys in the Tottenham game as well. When you have things like this, it's let me turn the volume down. You know, when you're a manager, you have to manage the game, and so when you see these things in instability and poor sections on the field, there's also good stuff that's happening out there as well. And you can't have any knee-jerk reactions. One little decision could capitulate your team. So when you're in a situation like that as a manager, you have to ensure, first of all, that you're solid at the back and you have some level of control over the game in the midfield, which Arsenal actually have. And so that gives you then the options to think about any changes that you can make with the game moving forward. And that could be a Trossard, that could be a Sterling. I wouldn't change anything in the middle of the park as of yet. I would like to see Calafiori come on and replace Timber. Timber playing too much football at the moment, so I'd like to see that change get done. Yeah. So I would like to see. That's the only one beneath the forward line that I would like to see. Apart from that, as I said, it's It's just a game of chess. The onus is not for you to make changes to stamp the authority on the game because you're already doing that. The onus is for the Atalanta boss. Right now, he's losing the chess match. He's not in control of this game. Atalanta are not dominating Arsenal. They're not creating great chances. And quite frankly, they're the ones that are going to be the ones to change things first. And Arteta, keeping it close to his hand, should use that as an opportunity to try and improve the tactical standpoint of the game and the shape. So that's where we are at the moment, guys.
Back in 2 minutes.
No problem. So as I said, guys, the bench options for me would be Raheem Sterling for possibly Martinelli and Leandro Trossard for Jesus. So I would give them 10 minutes or so to see how that works out. Could be possible that you see Wanyeri come in, slot in at the 10, and then push Havertz back up front. But as Cranky said, I think our problem is more than Jesus. We just seem out of sync, lack penetrative movement and passes, and they've been and I think that you're right, and I think that's a result of the fact that Ødegaard isn't there, and you're seeing a makeshift situation at the moment because Martinelli's not a great passer of the ball. Jesus doesn't hold the ball up well. And so you're really dependent on one player, which is Saka, to do everything on that top line. So it's a lot of weight for one man to really carry. And it's a bit difficult. But yes, all of this results in the fact that there's a lot of destabilization at the front there, a lot of bad passes, poor control, poor first touch. And it's not been good. It's not been for good viewing. But the rest of the shape of the team has been pretty good. But we're going to need someone to add that bit of quality to the setup. And is that Raheem Sterling? Is that a Trossard? Is that a Wanyeri? That's going to be the question of the second half.
I think there's two things that we don't, as a team, we never do. We never have anyone arriving late in the box, like an Aaron Ramsey would used to do. And we never swap our wingers. The defenders can just play against Saka, can play against Martinelli or Trossard or whoever it is. And there's never a period in the game where you think, let's swap them over for 10 minutes. Let's give the defenders something else to think about. Put Saka on his left foot, put Martinelli on his right foot. I personally think it would help Martinelli to play on the right wing, where he's on his strong foot, he's confident, where he can go past someone and whip in across. But it just doesn't seem to ever factor into Arteta's plan.
Nay, good to hear from you as always, Nay. Let me get these halftime stats off the screen. Nay says, we need Trossard to stabilize this game. Would love to see Sterling too. And and those are two guys who have better touches and control than the guys that are on the field now. And it's funny because Jesus has got an uncanny ability to dribble. That's his strength. That's his forte. And we've not really seen him use that here. Why? Because of the same reasons why I say he's not a good number 9. When you're a number 9 and you're at the point, you're dependent on the ball coming into you, and then you have to do your make a magic link play, lay the ball off of people, bring others into play. Jesus is more adapt to being the person who puts that ball into the middle. So you want Jesus around the striker, just behind him at the 8, the 10, or on the wings. That's where you want Jesus because he can run at the defense and he can dribble. You want him to have the ability and the space to do that. You can't do that at the number 9 spot. It's too far up the pitch. So, and we've had 2 years to see him as a number 9. So we know that. We're not talking hypotheticals here. We're talking because out of experience, because we've seen him do it. And so for me, I think that you're right, Nay, that you definitely get something different from Trossard up there because Trossard's just more of an intelligent player in the box. He's not a number 10. We've seen that now. He came in as a striker against for Brighton when Welbeck got injured for 9 games and scored 7 goals, including a hat-trick at Anfield. So Trossard plays the number 9 role really well. So, yeah, I definitely think that that's something that we need to see. And then Sterling for Martinelli. Cam says, how many points
at half-time as predicted?
Yeah. Cam says, how many points does a team need to qualify in this new format? Off the top of my head, I think if you get 16 points from a possible 24, so what would that be? That would be 5 wins and a draw from 8 matches. That would probably be a good combination to get you to finish in the top 8, which at least guarantees you a spot in the final 16. But then the same could be said of 15 points. So I would say 15 or 16 points would be good. And that would pretty much get you into the second stage. I'm not sure, if you then start to talk about 4 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses, probably is not going to get the job done. Probably is not going to see you in the final third. So the game's restarted, by the way. Say says take off just Jesus and Martinelli and bring on Sterling Trossard. Yep, it's exactly 100%. That's what we would do. Cranky said, I would not make any immediate changes. Frankly, you could remove any of the first 11 players. You could, but the ones that I think would be movable. yeah. I think you're looking at Timber. I think you're probably not looking at Thomas Partey today, which is a shame because then he's got to go 90 minutes again.
Oh, that's gone out
on Sunday. But again, for me, it would be probably Timber, Martinelli, Jesus. That would be your keys right there. Those are your 3 keys. But not until 65 minutes. I'll give it 20 minutes and see where we go.
Saka's in the 10 now.
Yeah, he is. Hold on.
No, he's not. He's nice. It's reverted. He's gone back to the wing, and Havertz and Jesus have both come across.
Yeah, Jesus is still at the point. And so, obviously, the manager likes where he sees Havertz. He likes Havertz in that hole, picking up the empty spaces, trying to get the rush and the tackles in, closing up, clogging up the lanes, and using his ability for Jules to fight to win the ball back. So he's got Havertz in that hole, which is good. Declan Rice having a so-so game. Yeah.
Oh, this guy loves to roll on the floor, this Ederson.
I know, and the referee's falling for it all the time.
Oh my God. He actually passed the ball, but muffed up the pass, and then he was off balance and runs into Partey.
By the way, guys, I love the fact that Gary's back after all. Gary, by the way, used to be into American football many moons ago, and he's just got back into it. Big 49ers fan.
Oh, penalty.
Oh.
Penalty. Ederson. He slipped past Declan Rice, I believe.
Serious, but they got to take another look at this.
No, he slipped by Thomas Partey.
I think he just goes down.
Do you know what? I ain't even sure that's a penalty, man, but it's going to be given.
Oh, it looks like it's a trip.
No, that's not a trip.
It is. Look.
Yeah, but it's not.
Partey's left leg touches the back of his ankle. That's why he goes down. Look, Partey's left leg touches the back of his ankle. It's not. It's running motion. It's not intended.
But to be honest, there should have been cover there once he got past Partey. That someone should have been coming across to cover.
Yeah. So there is contact, but I think it's accidental.
Yeah, but that would be given. Saliba was actually there. So Partey didn't need to make. Well, obviously it was an accidental colliding with the leg.
Oh, now they're saying, was it outside the box or inside
the
box?
No, it started outside the box, but the contact was inside the box. Raya's getting the talking to by Inaki.
Oh, so the VAR are checking the penalty anyway, guys. But there's definitely contact there, guys. He's not stuck his foot out to trip him or anything or to tackle him. It's just a running motion. So it's look, you can see here.
It's accidental, isn't it? Because it's not.
Yeah. Oh, it's outside the box, I think.
No. It was definitely inside the box to contact.
It's close. It's close. Oh, it looks. I think it's outside, Gary. Oh, it's that's what they're taking their time and looking. And when I looked at it from that angle, it looks like the contact is just slightly on the line or before. But
check over. It's a penalty. Check over.
Yeah,
the contact was definitely inside the box. It was a clumsy thing, but when he's 1-on-1 with Partey, there has to be another defender immediately the other side. So I don't know why everyone seemed to be, that area was empty. So Saliba should have been there to cover the just in case he slipped past Partey like he did. So Rigatelli or whatever his name is. Placed the ball.
So unfortunately, it's unfortunately it's a penalty. It's a close one, and it was an accident, guys. It wasn't a poor tackle or anything. It was two players running, and he clipped his leg. It happens. I'm not going to blame Partey for it. Yeah. Saved! Saved!
He saved it! And he saved the rebound! Come on, David Raya!
Saved!
Oh, my word!
Saved, guys!
The penalty.
A double save!
And he's down again, Aston Villa, and he saves the header, and Rice is there to knock it behind.
Wow.
What goalkeeping. Unbelievable. What a goalkeeper this guy is.
Wow. Unbelievable, guys. Wow. Unbelievable.
No, Cam, I don't hate David Raya. I don't hate David Raya. What I said from the start was, can he make the big saves that we used to see Aaron Ramsdale making that kept us in games? And it's clear that he can. I have no problem with David Raya,
guys,
at all.
Raya has been incredible this season. Oh, my word. With a double save. Oh, my God, guys. Incredible. That is brilliant. And, guys,
that was a brilliant double save, man.
What if the goalkeeper coach came up to him, whispered in his ear, probably told him which side to go to, and then he guesses right. Brilliant. And look, guys, he's already got 2 man of the matches this year.
I mean, that to get up and get fully across your goal and get a hand on it before it, because that must have been half over the line, right?
Yeah,
that must have been half over the line. That is a worldy save. You know, I criticised him against Brighton, and I know I thought it was a different scenario, but I still stand by what I said. But listen, when someone does something like that, you give him his praise.
Incredible, man. It just absolutely incredible.
18, I've got no problem with David Raya. I rate him highly as a goalkeeper. If you make the saves, when you need to make the saves, that's all you can ask for in a goalkeeper, right?
Yeah.
His distribution and he's claiming the crosses, but ultimately a goalkeeper is judged on the saves they make.
Wow. 18 says, surely Gary must rate him now.
See, I get all the sticker follow, innit?
Yeah, it's because you put your mouth on it, innit? That's why.
Yeah, but I just say what I see, innit? I just say what I see. There's nothing.
Raya, you sexy beast. Raya has been our signing of the season. Styler says, please, Moreno, hurry back. I agree. And 18 said, Raya in gold mode.
I think that's meant to be God, in it.
I'm not sure.
L's on the O.
Yeah,
L's on the O, innit?
Yeah, no, he's just said it. It's a Raya in God mode. It's supposed in American football we say beast mode, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Like I like the way how Gary's vocabulary started to use muff. Like he muffed the punt and all of that, and he muffed the catch.
I was watching the 49ers, innit? I was watching the 49ers. And the quarterback went to throw the ball.
Yeah.
And it slipped out of his hand as he threw it. So it went about 5 yards. That's why I said, what a muff. What a muff. I can't even think of the quarterback's name. My memory's so bad these days. It's right. What's the quarterback's 49ers quarterback?
Yeah.
He went to throw the ball, and as he threw it, it literally come out of his fingers. So the motion of him throwing it, his arm went through the throw, but the ball had already gone 5 yards, and they got the rebound or whatever you call it. I can't think of the word. Oh, the recovery. That's it. What would I do about my son? The game is opened up now.
It has. It's because they've realised that they could have been the one up. Cam says, Raya, what a wall of a keeper. Massive. Raya is insane, Gary.
Yeah, you get no arguments from me, Cam.
$56 minutes gone now, guys. Gary, hold on a second. Keep them company. I'm just going to get a drink.
Yeah, go ahead. So we're entering the 56th minute. Have passed, and Atalanta are on the attack. And again, party's done on the edge of the area. But the referee plays the advantage, and Declan Rice brings it away. And again, everyone's running away from him. There is no one there, and Declan Rice has had to go all the way back to David Raya. Oh! And Raya almost just off balance there. And there was just a little sneak chance for the attacker to get a foot in, which probably would have been resulted in a goal. But Raya takes his stance and prods it out to Gabriel. And now Arsenal come and Jesus, just control that ball. What are you doing, mate? So the ball was played up to Gabriel, and he's just got to control it on his chest. And he's trying to chest it to Havertz, I believe. Anyway, that's Jesus' last action because he is hooked for Leandro Trossard. And it looks like Thomas Partey's coming off for Jorginho. So that's a brave move from Arteta. Jesus had to be hooked, and Trossard was a definite to come on. But obviously, Arteta's now seen enough of Thomas Partey, and Jorginho will take his place. They're showing the penalty save again and the goal line technology. And you know what? David Raya has got back up and across, and there is probably about a millimetre of that ball across the line. What a fantastic save that is. So Jorginho takes over the captain's armband. So what can Arsenal do now? Yeah, you're spot on, 18. If that you're spot on, 18. Let me tell you, if Raya was a couple of inches taller, I would have never had a problem with him in the first place.
You guys are riding Gary hard, man. You guys are riding Gary hard. 18 says, I think Gary loves Raya now. No, I didn't. What happened?
So party for Jorginho and Jesus for Trossard.
Yeah, that's a really early sub, as Nays has just pointed out. And that's a really, really early sub.
So Trossard is dropped right deep there and was playing as the 6.
What?
Yeah.
Hold on. Who went off?
Thomas Partey for Jorginho, and Jesus for Trossard.
Oh, it's a Thomas Partey. That's why. So, all right, we've got to figure out what he's doing.
He got done again on the edge of the box, Apollo, when as you went away, and lucky enough we was able to scramble it clear. But then Rice had broke through the midfield, and everyone had run away from him, but he had no pass on, so he's had to turn all the way back from 30 yards from his own goal, go back towards his own area, and play it back to Raya. Raya's taken the touch, and there was a little slightest of off balances from him. And it almost looked like the attacker who was pressing was going to get a little toe poke into the net, but Raya managed to regain his balance and get the ball out to Gabriel.
Excellent.
So they're bringing on that's that Jan Corrado, who used to play for Juventus. So they're taking off their striker. This guy's been around for about 300 years. Didn't he play for Chelsea?
Yeah, I think he did. 18 said, "What's the tactical setup here?" So we know the beauty with Thomas Partey is that he's incredible in a single pivot, and we also know that Jorginho cannot play in a single pivot. So you would like to think at the moment now Declan Rice has dropped back to play in the double pivot to give him that support. So he's now a pivot 8 rather than an advanced 8. So that's what the tactic is there.
And called her to Arsenal. They do that throw a lot where someone runs across the byline and the ball's thrown over the top. Yeah. And Saka, the defender, couldn't take any chances there that Saka was going to get past him, so he's headed it out for a corner.
Cam says Arsenal fans hated Raya's guts this whole time as well. Hated the fact that he ended proper English lad Ramsdale's career here. But you know what? I know, it's mad. It's mad. So another corner to Arsenal.
Saka with the corner now. Placing the ball.
Okay, guys, here we go.
Corner's whipped in. Oh! And Havertz at the far post, heads it back. What's he give there? Offside?
Was that Ben White?
Arteta's moaning. So Havertz heads it back and it's kicked out. What's he saying? The ball was out when...
Yeah, it was Ben White.
Oh, unless he's given a foul on the goalkeeper, I have no idea.
Man, how could you imagine everybody was slagging off Havertz last season? And look at him now. Look how important he is to our setup now.
Anyone, like I said many times, anyone that still slags this guy off just doesn't really know about football, to be honest.
65 million, you know, that's a frigging bargain.
Same price that Spurs paid for your guy, Solanke.
Yeah, that's a poor ball from Yuri and Timber there. Timber is normally more careful with the ball.
That's it, Rice, break it up.
Our record away from home is just so impressive. Let's get something done. Good ball from Havertz there.
Free kick for Atalanta. Well done, Jorginho. That's it. Go on. Give it back. Ah, you've gone the wrong way, mate. That's it. One more. Nice.
Arsenal now getting bodies forward.
With Martinelli. Martinelli comes on to his right foot. Laid it to Jorginho. The touch was a bit heavy and the pass was never on there. He's either got to hit that or he's got to reset. Keep the ball and come back out and go again.
And this is where Jorginho's got to improve in terms of his final ball, because there's no Ødegaard. The only person that you could really trust in getting those balls in there is Zinchenko, and he's not on the field.
Yeah, he's injured, didn't he?
Exactly. So you're really struggling with your creativity at the moment. Havertz can do it, but we don't want to.
To his uncle that he was fouled in the area. Uncle, give me a pen, please. But his uncle said, "Nah, because your aunt ain't gonna tell me off."
But you're dependent on Havertz for so much different things in the game right now. So you're dependent on him to be the defensive star, the creator, the goal scorer. It's nuts. It's nuts right now. Cam, what's Cam saying here? Jesus needs to wake up. This is just beyond poor.
Gabriel, man. And
we need help offensively, and he produces this BS. And people wanted Eddie gone. Makes no sense. Well, you got 30 million for Eddie, so yeah, you got 30 million for Eddie, so it kind of makes sense. Arsenal's net spend 4 million, Gary. Net.
Yeah, excellent business.
Hopefully, looking forward for them to handle that that profit.
There was rumors in the forum the other day that not in the forum. There was rumors I saw the other day about Tomiyasu being sold in January, and there was a few people saying that wouldn't be bad business because he just can't stay fit. So it's all right being a good defender and good at what you do, but if you can't stay fit, you're no use to Arsenal Football Club.
Honestly, I wouldn't sell him because I actually think he's a better defensive right back than White.
I totally agree with you, mate. But if you can't stay, if you can only give us 5 games a season, what good are you?
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
If you can get 30, 40 million from him, you're not better off to take the money and invest it. You could probably sell Tomiyasu for a bit more than that, maybe. But ideally, you want players that can be on the pitch when you need them.
Yeah, because that's the good thing about Kiwior is he can play everywhere and he's dependable and he's fit. Doesn't get injured. Here's a cross from Atalanta.
Headed clear.
Yeah, and our boys are so big and physical. They just dominate all them balls in the box.
I think it's Raheem time.
Yeah, I wish I could see more of Raheem Sterling, man, but I just wish I saw more of him.
Oh, see, that's what you want Martinelli to do. Exactly what that Corrado's just done. Yeah. We've never seen Martinelli do that.
Yeah, well, not of late. Not for a while.
Raya had that.
All it needs is for one of them to go on target. He's got that in his locker, Martinelli. He just doesn't do it.
I don't doubt that he hasn't, but we just don't see it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
I'd rather see it go into Rose. At least he's trying. Oh, Timbers give it away. Poor touch.
Fabrizio Romano just said David Raya, insane goalkeeper.
Hey, that's what 18 said, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe 18 is Fabrizio Romano in disguise.
Yeah.
See, the press is on Timbers trying to be a bit too clever there.
Yeah.
Just gets caught on the edge of his box. Now, this is a good team, Cranky. They're not a bunch of idiots.
Welcome back, Emerson. What happened to you, bro?
Signal just went down. That's all. At the wrong time.
Put 50p in the meter.
It's now in the meter.
I think, isn't the meter a pound now? I don't know how that bloody thing works. Emerson, what's your views on the save?
It was a good save. I've seen it. I've seen it several times already. It was a good save. The second one was the better one of the two.
How good?
Because Rice had to knock it off with the corner.
They showed the double save while you was away, and he gets up and he gets the second save in, as the ball must have been about just one tiny bit of the ball, about half a millimeter of the ball had crossed the line.
Ouch! Saliba's gone down with an injury, guys.
Oh no!
Wow, that looks. Saliba's on the floor, man. He looks like he's been crying.
Oh, Gary, you're ahead of me.
Big Willie style.
Oh, Gary's ahead of me. Gary, I'm 69 minutes.
I don't know where I am because the thing's got 69:15. I am.
Oh, you're ahead of
69:30.
me.
69:30.
Yeah, I think that Retelli's just nudged him off the ball, but caught him on the back of his calf as they've collided together. Just pure accidental, I believe. Subs for Atalanta.
You can hear the excitement in Manchester, but it looks like Saliba's going to be okay.
Yeah, Saliba's fine, man. That was a nothing challenge. They bring off the 302-year-old Zappacosta, another Chelsea reject.
Crunchy.
It's been that way, Cam. With Ødegaard missing, we rely on him for so much. He sets the press, he sets the tone in everything we do. So he's always going to be a big miss. Nice run. Use it. So it's been another quiet game for Saka.
Yeah. In fact, I did say towards the end of the second half, you could see them settling down into a mid block. But now it looks like it's 70 minutes gone. Arsenal now look like they want to go and push ahead and do another Dick Turpin.
Well, I'm surprised that Martinelli's lasted 70 minutes, to be perfectly honest. Now can we cross it? Why aren't you crossing it from there?
Arsenal, we saw what they did against Spurs away. And quite frankly, Arsenal has the best away record in Europe.
So the ball's played to Martinelli. He looks like he gets a little shove in the back, but he falls to his knees and the referee just says, play on. Can't even win a free kick at the moment, this guy.
Yeah. You can see what we're doing. We're really struggling in the final third without Ødegaard. Any update on Kevin De Bruyne's injury, guys?
No, I haven't heard nothing.
All they've said is this and that ankle injury so far.
Well, I heard it was groin or thigh from something that I read. Whether I don't know what's true, but they're not going to say anything before Sunday anyway.
And the one problem that we've had as well is because the shape of us is so good, we've struggled a little bit in the last half an hour of winning the ball back in the midfield.
Sterling and Calafiori are coming on, guys.
Nice. That's what we want to see.
Saka's coming off after 72 minutes.
Good.
And Timber's coming off as well.
How's that for man management, Cranky? How's that for game management? Touche with my coconut water. Oh, Lord. That's good stuff, man.
Cranky won't be happy. You should have been done 5 minutes earlier.
Oh, come on now. Cranky's all about good man management. That's the right thing to do. Even better if one of these lot go and win us the game. That's exactly the right thing to do. That is take off Saka, take off Timber. That's perfect. Exactly what I would have done. Excellent. We just need a couple to come back from, we just need to get Ødegaard back, Moreno back, and then I think the squad's going to be okay. Yes, it's a bit thin. Yes, it can be improved, but it's more than manageable enough to go through as long as we don't get any long-term injuries.
Oh, you got to put your head in there. Georgina, what are you doing there? Oh, that was how good would Mikel Moreno be right now? You take anyone back right now, wouldn't you?
Yeah. And guys, I do want to point out that Mikel Moreno has played a few games as a number 10 for Spain. He's played his normal position as an 8.
Corrado again goes close. He just cuts in, and there's only one thing on this guy's mind. Can he get a shot away? He's not thinking about passing. He's not thinking about anything. Cuts inside, bang. Raya had it covered. It was comfortable for Raya. But that's what we want. We don't have players that do that.
Yeah. I mean, he's shooting on sight. Normally Trossard does that.
Martinelli goes close.
Close to what?
Close. Good work from Sterling, though.
Lovely take by
Havertz.
I mean, Martinelli there. He's got to get that on target, man. That is a bad miss. That is a terrible miss.
Oh, that's got to be a goal. He's got to go low right.
No, not low.
Then,
he's done.
Yeah, low right. The space is there. The space is there for a low right.
I think he picked the right option, but where his confidence is so low, he just wants to break the net. There's no composure.
I know people.
He's trying to blast that into the roof of the net.
Yeah, that's awful. That's awful from Martinelli.
See, this is the thing. In tight games, that may be the last chance we get for the next so long.
You can't depend on a guy who can't hit a barn door at the moment with his confidence levels. Wow.
That's the chances that you've got to take, or you've got to make the keeper work. There's no two ways. There's nothing else that you have to do in that situation. You score or you make the keeper make a save.
Yeah.
But excellent take from Havertz there from the ball up to him. And then he lays it off to Sterling. And we've seen more from Sterling than we did from Saka, apart from the free kick that he had saved.
Mm-hmm.
So Declan Rice with the free kick. Is this pitch Astro?
No, it's normal grass.
But it can't be normal grass, because when I just saw some rubber flick up from when one of the players went off the pitch behind the goal, just near the post. There was a splash of rubber come up. So maybe it's got that kind of, Declan Rice, what is that?
Cam says, how is Martinelli still on the pitch? Would have preferred Sterling at left wing, and Wanyeri on the right. And then he says Chatanelli was probably offside anyway. Chatanelli. God. You guys are something else, man. How low? I feel bad for the kid, man. How low is just another player lacking in confidence.
Oh, Jorginho's give it away. Silly pass.
Wow. 2 years ago, Martinelli would have buried that. It would have been 1-0 to Arsenal. Oh my God. Jorginho, that was an awful pass. Well played,
Sterling. Just simple thing. That's it. Oh, Jorginho, just give it away. Was it Trossard? Trossard to give it away now. That was a 5-yard ball. They're all wearing the same colour boots. I can't tell who's who.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that's just a poor pass. Really, really sloppy by Arsenal. Really sloppy. When I did the preview, guys, I said it was either going to be 0-0 or 1-0 Arsenal. Because you just know what happens when you go away to a quality team like this. You got to be on it, man. Champions League don't suffer fools, you know, guys.
Yeah,
I know the Premier League doesn't suffer fools, but still. Man. Jorginho just come on the field and start stinking it up.
Trossard just dropped right back in there now, isn't he?
Wow.
Well, this press is it got us penned in, man. And it's played out of play. See what I mean? Honestly, come on, Gabriel.
Yeah, Martinelli just... did you see Arteta had his head in his hands when Martinelli missed that chance?
But that's the difference between winning tight games and losing and drawing, even.
Yeah, it is.
You know, you're one-on-one with the keeper. Make him make a save. The least that you have to do.
And like I said, somebody asked me what do you need to qualify, and I said to them, you're going to need at least 5 wins or four wins and a couple of draws. So that's really what you got to do in order to qualify.
Well, obviously with the new format, there's no easy games now.
Of course, yeah.
Games. Go on, Calafiori.
And this is one you have to notch off. Oh, he's gonna give a free kick for that.
No, he didn't. It was play on. Calafiori with a lovely bit of skill, advancing into the box, but Trossard tried to play to the far post to Havertz.
That's a great ball there. Who played that ball? I think that was
Trossard.
Yeah, Trossard. Yeah, it's very, very difficult. Arteta's been put in a position where he's got to be careful what he does when he makes these changes, because when you're hanging in there, it's the balance. You're always looking for that balance. Yeah, it's lots of stats on the score sheet there, guys, but it's the goal that missed. Styler said Ødegaard is so badly missed. Yeah, he is. Look, he's the best number 10 in world football by a long way. I showed you guys those stats before in terms of creativity, and like the nearest person to him in Europe has got 13 chances less created in a season. It isn't close, most of the numbers are very close between the top players, but his stat in terms of chances created is so far ahead of everybody else's. He really is the new Mesut Ozil in that way, if you think about his creativity stats. In the last 2 years, he's been the de facto. He's taken over from Kevin De Bruyne the title of the main creator and the best creative player in football. It's 81 minutes gone.
He looks really good, man. This guy.
The problem for me is, though, can you play him in a double pivot? Does that make sense? Because he likes to get forward. Yeah.
I think you could. I think he could play the 8.
Yeah.
I think you could have Rice or Partey at 6 and him at 8.
Left back has got so many options now. You need to find another place to play him. It's a good ball there. What the hell was Ben White thinking?
No idea. You just carry on advancing there and have a shot at goal.
And
driving inside, and you're trying to play a ball that's never there.
Mad. And Sterling's taken over from Saka. He was nowhere in the vicinity. I shouldn't talk bad about my cousin like that. I try not to talk bad about family when I'm on here. I don't want to get cussed out I don't want no auntie or uncle cussing me out. That's why.
Lovely header, Gabriel. Nice cushion for Calafiori.
Yeah, Calafiori loves the inverted roll. We've got 2 guys who can invert so good.
3 if you can, Zinchenko.
That's a nice header down there from Gabriel. Good to see Saliba run off that knock. 83 minutes gone, guys. Man City coming up on Sunday. I'll take a draw here. I don't feel any way about taking a draw, but to get a cheeky win is something that would be great in this Champions League new format. Everybody's working themselves into the unknown, and you just want the points on the board.
I think this is probably about winning your home games as much as anything else.
Of course, yeah. And this is what's going to be disappointing for Atalanta. They would have wanted to win tonight.
Calafiori was almost the furthest player forward there when we broke. He's gone back into left back.
Look at that. Kai Havertz's hold-up play doesn't get rewarded because of poor touches.
Wow.
Oh, it looks like it's going to be a draw, guys. 84 minutes gone. And really, Arsenal have got nothing on the bench, to be honest. I mean, when Yeri is the only guy you can bring on. And are you going to get a goal out of him?
Well, you might not get a goal, but you might get a forward burst run or something, which may lead to a penalty or a free kick.
Atalanta making 2 changes. Everyone's trying to go for it now.
I mean, you'd have to get where Neri on now. You'd have to remove Havertz, wouldn't you? But you're not going to do that.
Yeah, true. And Cam says that little moment from Calafiori is why he should be starting. But where? You can't just pull Timber. You got to find a place for him. And I think it would be in that 3-man midfield. That's where I think he should be playing. You've not given Jorginho too many minutes tonight, which is good, so he can start against City. And we'll need a performance like what Jorginho had against Liverpool last season. That's what we need from Jorginho on Sunday. We're going to need a world-class performance from Jorginho.
That's it. Go on. Went on. Oh, that should be on the floor. Why is that pass airborne? Give Sterling a chance to take it in. Give it to him on the floor. He's straight to his feet.
Yeah, I agree. I tell you what, not a lot of people are going to be talking about this after the game, but what a job Ben White has done on Lookman. We ain't even talked about him in this game.
And here come Atalanta. Arsenal back behind the ball really quickly there. Oh, it's Lookman. What a tackle, William Saliba. Because Lookman was in there and Saliba was the wrong side. He couldn't afford to get that wrong. It was actually a penalty.
Awesome.
And Saliba showed immense strength and gets the tackle in corner Atalanta.
And that's why he's the best in the world.
Corner's in. That will do. I'm a big fan of the hack clear.
Cam saying no one can pass the ball without Ødegaard. Yeah, you know what? If we're going to get found out against City if we can't play ball retention, we need to be at our best, and that's going to be a problem. That's the only thing that I can foresee against Man City. It's that we've just got the passing is just so off. We're going to have to come up with something different. I mean, don't be surprised, guys, if you see us going with the Spurs tactic against Man City. And you know what, guys? I would take a draw now. If it was Arsenal, Man City on Sunday, I would take a draw right now. I'd take a draw today. I'll take a draw on Sunday, and then move on. Because the next few games after that, guys, are very, very winnable.
Yeah, we've got to get past City without losing, preferably.
Yeah.
And like you say, the games after that get a little bit easier.
Yeah, we have Leicester at home, and then we've got Southampton at home.
I mean, we've had the hardest start.
And then we've got Bournemouth away after that. So we've got 3 winnable games. Although Bournemouth, after what they've done the other day, there's tough teams in the Premier League, man, but they're winnable nonetheless.
So Lookman has been substituted.
Yeah, the gun has done a number on him tonight. So, guys, if the game finishes where it is today, Arsenal would be in 17th place out of 36 teams. That's how important it is to get your first win off in this insane league setup. The problem that you've got, guys, is if teams like Bayern Munich, Leverkusen, Villa, Dortmund Liverpool, Juventus, Real Madrid. If these team PSG, if they keep on winning, it's going to be hard to break into that that top 8 to qualify. That's the problem you've got, Gary.
I mean, I haven't really looked into the format of the Champions League, to be perfectly honest.
Stylist said, how many subs do they have? It seems like the 10th sub. No, I think they've used all their subs now.
You know, we've got to play PSG, haven't we, at home?
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, you've got to win your home games and try not to get beat away and try to nick something. But this is where, you know, we missed that deadly striker who's going to put that chance that Martinelli had away.
4 minutes added on, guys.
Yep, 4 minutes added on.
And we've got to play against Gorkarez, haven't we? We've got Sporting.
Yeah, way though. At their turf.
At their turf, yeah. Victor Yokora is just absolutely on fire right now. And they did not move from that 100 million euros. No team came in for him. 7 teams were in for him, but not at that price.
Kolasinac bodied Sterling. Sterling, he had the hand that Sterling told him to get last. Oh,
Kolasinac, how old is he now?
30 odd.
Mad.
This think his nickname was the Tank.
Oh, Ben White, just clear the ball. What are you trying to? Well done. Is that Kai Havertz? Kai Havertz rescued Ben White there because that Zaniolo got the wrong side of him. When Ben White trying to be a bit too clever, give the ball away, and Havertz comes back with the sliding tackle to stop the cross from going in the box at the expense of a corner.
Yep. So, guys, in the Premier League, we've won 10 out of 11 away games. In the Champions League, we've won only 1 out of 6 away games. That's how tough the Champions League is, guys. Very, very difficult to go away and win.
Slow it down, man. Slow it down, mate. You've done your job. I say the golden chance fell to Martinelli, unfortunately, and he couldn't hit the target.
Yeah, this reminds me of when we went to PSV and ended up with a draw. It's hard to go and win away in the Champions League, man. A lot of teams don't do it. A lot of teams struggle to win away. That's the key, really. Winning away is not an easy thing. That's the golden chalice, man.
I mean, ultimately, when you go away and you only force the keeper into making one save, realistically, you're not gonna win games.
Mm-hmm.
That is it, guys. Half full time.
Okay.
0-0.
Right. Okay. So let's get with the pre-game. Let's have a look at this now. Right, let's get on with the pre-game and see what we can do.
Considering that we gave away a penalty, we've come out of that pretty much all right.
Yeah, I think so. Here is full-time whistle. Let me change this here. So that's it, guys. Arsenal 0-0 draw. And as I said to you guys before, I would have taken that before the game, just the way how I could feel everything coming on. And then you've got Man City on Sunday. Awful lot to manage here at this point in time for Arsenal. Nay said, oh, well, I will take a point. Yeah, I don't think there's nothing wrong with a point when you consider the quality, the sheer quality of the teams that we're playing. Did we have our chances to win? Yeah, Martinelli had a great chance, which he squandered. Saka had a great chance, which the goalkeeper saved. Did we have a chance to lose it? Yes. David Raya saved an incredible double save for a penalty, and he has to get my man of the match today. But overall, I think that, I'm not going to complain with the performance because, guys, yeah, I agree with that. Cranky just said Raya as well. I definitely would agree with that.
Agreed with me.
But guys, it's incredibly difficult to manage. And this is it. This is hindsight. So I want Arsenal fans to just sit down, relax for a minute, and take a step back and think to themselves, you're without some of your best players, your best player in the team. He's been voted player of the season for Arsenal the last few years. Martin Ødegaard, our best player, our best creator. You're going into Spurs away, Atalanta away, and Man City away. That's the context, guys. Just put that into context for a couple of minutes. That's what you're up against. And so far, you've beaten Spurs away. You've gone to Atalanta in the Champions League and taken a point. And then you've got... And I think before this, a lot of people were saying they would have taken 4 points out of these 3 games. That's what a lot of people said. We got them 3 away fixtures. I'll be happy to get 4 points. Well, guess what? You've already got 4 points. And you're going into the Etihad. And as long as you've got that defense and you can control the midfield, honestly, as I said before, I would take a 0-0 draw at the Etihad. Be interesting to see who will start, though. I will say that, because there's been some fundamental misplay up front. The technical side and the passing has been really, really bad. It's been awful. Let's not mix any bones away from that. The midfield has just been a work in process. Good to have Declan Rice back. Today, I thought he had an average game, but he was a body. Yeah, he was a body in there.
They got an interview with David Raya, didn't
they? Yeah, I'm going to put it up now.
We know it's a tough game, tough place to come. They are a magnificent team. They put it very, very difficult to us, but I think we put it very difficult for them as well. They didn't create that many chances. Obviously, the penalty, that's it. And no, it's just a point away from home. First Champions League game. I think we could have played a little bit more and a little bit better. But I thought we managed well the game. We were in our best today. So if we cannot win the game, let's not lose it.
Should we talk about your incredible double save out there tonight? Just talk us through that one.
No, it's just a penalty, and I was lucky to go the right way and save it. I was unlucky to get the rebound and straight to him, but I was just quick enough to get up and save it and save the rebound. So it's fantastic to be able to keep the clean sheet and to help the team to at least get a point.
It was a really long VAR check, but you seemed to go to the sideline, just take your time. What were you saying there? Was that the goalkeeper coach you were talking to?
Yeah, no, I took the decision to go to the sideline just to... It was a long way and a long time to decide if it was a pen or no. So I just went to speak with the goalie coach to have a more sensible way of where to go and where not to go and what to do and what not to do. So he helped me a lot in every aspect. So credit to him as well, that he does all the work with everything, and it's great to him as well, the save.
But you seem to be building at Arsenal so much. Every week you're delivering. Save of the month for the game at Aston Villa, I think it was, delivering tonight. What is giving you this? Who is giving you this? How are you getting better and better?
I think everyone, of course, the players, the staff, and the fans, they believe that they have in me, and as well, of course, Iñaki, the goalie coach, he just on me, and I just have to deliver for the club and for the fans, for everybody. So I'm just in a good way now. I've got things to improve as always, but of course, I'm in a good place right now.
David, thank you for talking to us.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
David Raya there says those double saves were lucky. I'd argue against that one.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Lucky is not the word I would use if I was David Raya to talk about the level of the saves that he had there. I thought that was just outstanding from him. Incredible, really. And I thought that we've got a massive weapon in David Raya. So, guys, let's have a look. We're going to be going into the player ratings soon, and basically see where we are from there. Let's hold on. Let me just put. I'm just putting through the last few ratings. Right, hold on a second, guys. Just putting through the last few ratings. Here we go. Right. Here we go. Right, let's get the ratings up. Here we go. Right, let's get the ratings up. Okay, player ratings, guys. Here we go. David Raya, guys, I'm giving a 9 out of 10, and he's my man of the match. Once again, Arsenal's hero 3 or 4 times this season. He's been that guy. This is his 3rd man of the match in 5 games. So for 60% of the games we've played, he's been our man of the match, which means, in sense, he's been our best player so far this season. And he was kept quiet for most of the game. I remember telling you guys we had 5 shots, 2 on target. They had 1 shot, none on target. And then in the second half, really, Atalanta was the better team. We allowed them a lot of space. We was less fluid with the ball. And that's when sort of Raya started to, in turn, get more involved in the game. A lot of their shots didn't hit the target. So granted, he didn't have to work that well. But when it came for his number to be called, David Raya was on there with an outstanding double save. Brilliant from him. Yeah, this guy, and I've always been in his corner. So for me, no big deal. Ben White, I'm going to give, hold on a second. Let me just, I think that's a bit too much for Ben White. Yeah, Ben White, I'm going to give a 7. And the reason why is because he nailed down Lookman. Lookman didn't get a look. Yeah, Lookman didn't get a look in because Ben White was all over him. And it kind of made it look like he was not in the game, but that's because they didn't really look for Lookman. He was tying him up. Sometimes in the NFL, we call this shutdown corner, where you're covering a guy so much that they're not even looking to give you the ball. And that's essentially what Ben White was doing with Lookman. So he has to be commended for the job that he's done. Didn't get involved a lot. We didn't see him go up and support Saka as much, but that's because he had one job to do. Arteta said, take this guy out of the game. He took Lookman out of the game, and that was it. Job done. Well done, Ben White. William Saliba. Saliba gets a 7.5 out of 10. It had Riguri in his face, but he had no. I think Retiguri twice got beyond Saliba, and both times he mopped him up. So there was absolutely no threat. He just nullified the threat that they had. Look, man, Saliba, and then he had made the last-ditch tackle on Lookman to win. So that's 3 times he mopped up in the box. So maybe I should give him an 8, but Saliba does what Saliba does. Actually, yeah, let's do that. Let's give him an 8. Let's give him an 8. Yeah. So well played from Saliba. Gabriel, another good showing again, but he didn't have any issues. 7 clearances. He led the players on the pitch with 7 clearances, which is quite a lot. But they've just done his job. Give him a job to do. Done it. Clean sheet. Had no issues defending. Positional play was good. Again, sometimes the strikers had their backs to him, and he chose the right angles. All you got from him, fantastic. I'm giving Urian Timber a 7. Probably should have given him a 6, because although I thought he had a good first half, man, was he sloppy in the second. He gave the ball 2 or 3 times away, and he weren't the only one as well. We saw Jorginho do that, and I haven't graded Jorginho today. Partey was sloppy. Rice was sloppy. I mean, it was just when we're going to come onto the midfield in a minute. But Urian Timber just got sloppy as the game gone on. But he had a decent first half. Now for the midfield, Partey gets a 6. And he didn't look like he had any legs tonight. He just didn't look like he had the energy. And I don't know whether he was conserving himself for City, but it just didn't see the running from him. And he just looked a bit, again, that key word, he just looked sloppy. The Declan Rice, back in the side after his suspension, and he wasn't playing well before this game, although he started to show improvements, especially for England. He scored a lovely goal against Northern Ireland. And then he started to sort of get his form back a little bit. But I thought he was too quiet today. He wasn't the dominant. Remember when you used to see Declan Rice just fighting and winning every single duel around the midfield? Where was that Declan Rice today? Where was that dominant player who didn't give the midfield an inch or a space? It wasn't there. So, yeah, I don't think he played well today. I'm giving Rice a 5. Partey, as I said, gets a 6. Kai Havertz gets a 7. Big role today, playing as a number 10, and I thought he did okay. I thought in possession he was good. I thought he was clean on the ball. He played some guys through, and he was the only one actually with any forward progressing passing today. He's the only one that leaves this game with any credit to his name as far as progressive play goes, because the rest of the other passing forward was shocking, as well as the control. But yeah, I thought he did his part today, and so he gets a 7. Saka, apart from his free kick, which he could have scored, and that's why he gets a 6. He would have got a 5 otherwise. But had it not been for that chance where he should have scored and Ødegaard made a fantastic save, it was our best chance of the night, if I'm honest, along with the Martinelli miss. But though he did back down and help White out defensively, which Saka's been doing quite a while now for the last few weeks. So Saka facilitates his role really well defensively as well. But just that chance, if he'd have scored, it would have been a different rating. He probably would have ended up with a 7.5 or an 8, just for the fact that he scored the goal. But yeah, he gets a 6. Jesus, wow, guys. Jesus gets a 4. And I've had this, I feel like I'm almost repeating myself over and over again. Jesus doesn't understand the responsibility and the role of a number 9. He just doesn't. His first touch was like the kiss of death. Every time he received the ball with back to the goal, he lost possession. Just struggling massively. And guys, this is what we saw for the majority of last season when he played as a number 9. This is why we lost to Villa. This is why we didn't get... When we played Villa, we had 65 minutes of dominant play when we should have scored 2 or 3 goals. And he gives you nothing up top. He gives you nothing as a striker. You want him outside the box where he's got the ability to use his skills to dribble and create. When you put him inside the box, you limit his skill set. And unfortunately, that was on full display for today. Rio and Martin Keown are talking, but you guys would rather listen to my analysis. So I'm going to keep on talking. And so for Jesus, guys, just lost. And I would actually think, guys, if you're going to play him, just put him on the left. If you're not going to play Trossard there and you're looking at Martinelli, play Jesus on the left. I'd rather Jesus play on the left than Martinelli at this point. You know, who knows? Put Martinelli in the middle. That might be something. Yeah, Martinelli tends to do good, well when he's playing in the middle anyway. So why not try that? Why not try and switch them a little bit? Because please don't tell me you're going to go against Man City with Jesus as your number 9. I might eat my words. He might score a winner or something. I don't know. But what I do know is for over a year, over 2 years now, he's not shown us anything at the number 9 spot. Anything. Some people even questioning why that Nketiah does a better job at the number 9 than he does. And you're right, he does. Eddie's goals at that position, 14 and 27 starts, is far more better than Jesus as a starting striker. And that brings us on to Martinelli. Again, good in defensive duties. You did see him cut back and support Yuri and Timber, but he just didn't get into the game on the top end. Poor touch, lacking confidence in front of goal. Movement was lost. I could see Havertz was pointing, trying to play a ball into a spot. Martinelli didn't run into it. And the one chance he did have where he ran in, you can see the goalkeeper was actually directional center, which means he just needed to slot the ball low right. And then he absolutely blasts it over the net. And that's just someone indicative of poor confidence. It's just not going to help him. You can't win games like these. Games are fine margin, guys. PSG, Real Madrid, Man City, all these teams going out with their big guns. You can't carry players in a league like this. You can't, when guys are struggling and off form, don't expect to put them in a game like this and getting a result from them, because it's not going to happen. Yeah, sure, a clock is right twice a day. We know all that. At some point, your fortunes will change. But look what happened at the start of last season. 2 goals in the first 20 games. That's 1 goal every 10 games you're getting from you can't afford that. You need better production from these situations. And I'm not just talking about Martinelli. I'm talking about Jesus and a trailer load of players. So, look, if the manager is going to persist on going with him over and over again, week by week, then prepare to be disappointed with his final product, because that's what he showed you last season. And this season, he's starting off in exactly the same way. Arteta, I'm going to give a 7. I thought Arteta actually done well. I thought we were going to see the same team as Spurs, but he changed it up a little bit. And I talked about Havertz in the 10, and that's what the manager's done. So it's almost like the manager can see what you're seeing, if that makes sense. And so he got a draw tonight because he set the team up well. And just if it wasn't for some poor display, poor touching, poor passes in the final third, which that's not on the manager, that's on the players. But I thought the manager set his team up well today and deservedly got the draw, which I would have taken before the game. So, Gary, over to you. Player ratings, please.
David Raya, excellent penalty save and excellent penalty rebound save. Truly, truly remarkable what he pulled off tonight. I'm happy with his 9. He also gets my man of the match. And just to clarify for one last time, put it to bed, I have no problem with David Raya in the Arsenal goal, even though he is a couple of inches shorter than what I would like. Ben White, kept Lookman quiet. That was always going to be a bit of a worry going into this game. We've seen Lookman produce some stuff over the period of time. We were also linked with him in the summer. But Ben White nullified him. I think off the top of my head, I think he had 2 things of any note in the game. Saliba snuffed one out, and I can't remember who snuffed the other one out, but Ben White done a really good job. Happy with his 7. Saliba made a really good tackle on Lookman, as solid as always. Happy with that 8. Gabriel, I thought, had a really good night. Give the ball away a couple of times, though. He would have got an 8 from me, but there was a couple of passes out where he hasn't picked out the man, and we give the ball straight back to Atalanta. So happy with his 7. Timber had a really good first half. In the second half, he become a little bit... I know he's very press resistant, but there was a couple of times when he's surrounded by 3 or 4 players, and it was an impossible situation to try and play your way out of. And I think this is... He's got to realise that it's a different competition and different. Like in the Premier League, it's different. It's not going to be like it was in the Dutch league. So you have to pick your moments when you play and when you don't. But overall, I'm really happy with Jury and Timber. I would have liked to see Calafiori start today because I don't want Timber overplayed and picking up another injury. But I'm happy with the 7 for Timber. Declan Rice, I did say before the season started that it was going to be difficult for these guys that came back from the Euros. They came back late. They've obviously haven't. I know the Euros was on, and then they've had the break, and then they've come back. So that little break, although they're doing their fitness work, it's not the same as having a proper like pre-season. It's a little bit different, and I know that Rice has even made remarks to that to back that up. But I just think it's going to take time for Rice and Saka to get back into the actual groove of playing football and being that match fit. So Declan Rice, I'm going to give him a 4 today. I just think it was times when he was making runs and he runs down the channel, but he's running into a blind alley. There was no out for him, and he was a little bit sloppy giving the ball away. So I'm going to give him a 4. Thomas Partey, I thought he was unlucky to give away the penalty. It was more clumsy than anything else, but I also think that there should have been someone backing him up. So if the ball did get past him, someone should have been there immediately. So I'm going to give Partey a 5. Again, this is 5 games in a row for Thomas Partey now. Something that we haven't seen from him. So normally by now he's played a couple of games and he misses 3 or 4 months. So we've got to be careful with Thomas Partey and hope he doesn't pick up the injury because we are going to need him. Kai Havertz, I thought had a really good game, covering defensively, tackling, controlling the ball, holding it up, laying it off. The only thing that he doesn't do enough is get into that box for crosses, and we didn't really cross the ball tonight, but because we had no focal point in there. So I'm going to give Havertz a 6.5. Saka, again, another quiet afternoon or evening for this young man. Bought a very good save from the goalkeeper. Other than that, he was non-existent. So I'm going to give Saka a 5. Jesus. He's just not the guy. He's not a number 9. And we keep trying to force him into this playing the 9. And he wants to drop into the 6, and he wants to be left back, and he wants to be right back, and he doesn't hold the ball up when he should, and then when he's holding the ball up, he should be laying it off, and when he's laying it off, he's trying to beat people. He just gets everything wrong. So I don't know what the solution is with this guy. I don't know if you put him out on the right or out on the left, and try him there. But even if you put him there, I don't think he's disciplined enough to play that role. And he's fast becoming a real problem for this Arsenal team. When he first come, he got the new signing bounce and he was all up and everyone loved it, and he was scoring and he was creating, but he just seems to have lost all of that. And I think he's just becoming more of a hindrance. I would have preferred to keep Eddie and let Jesus go, to be perfectly honest. I think Eddie gives you much more. He's a 9 and he wants to be a 9. He doesn't want to do, although he will do the work, like the tracking back and the tackling, he wants to score goals. He wants to be in that box and he wants to snatch at anything that comes in there and try and score goals. And I would have preferred that, but obviously they made the decision. So I'm going to give Jesus a 3. Martinelli, how this guy played 94 minutes tonight, I just have no idea. He stunk up the joint. And I know people will point to the fact that he does good defensive work and he backs up his fullback. But ultimately, he is there and his job in the team is to score goals and to create chances for others to score goals. And he does neither. He had one opportunity tonight and he couldn't even get that on target, at least. Bare minimum, get it on target. You know, make the keeper make a save. In tight games, when push comes to shove, you may only get one chance in the game. And if you take out Saka's free kick, we only had one chance in the game. And unfortunately, it fell to Martinelli, and he was wayward. I'm going to give Martinelli a 2. And he only gets the 2 for his defensive side of the game.
Sorry, Gary, they're just showing they're actually showing Raya's double save against Villa. I actually think that the save today was better.
Yeah, agreed. But yeah, so Martinelli again is becoming a real problem. For me, there's no place for him in this team. I've said it before, he actually looks like a player from the Brazilian second division. You know, all that shine that he had has faded away. 15 games, no goals, no assists. This can't keep happening if you want to win and challenge for titles. So somewhere along the line, Arteta's got to get into him, extra practice, extra shooting, finishing, whatever you call it, or bench him. We've got Raheem Sterling now that can play on the left. You've got Trossard that can play on the left. You've got Jesus that can play on the left. You've got Saka that can actually play on the left. You know, I think it would benefit Martinelli to play on the right on his strong foot, but Martinelli gets a 2. Arteta, I don't think he got a lot wrong. He made subs when he needed to, replaced the right players when he needed to. So I'm happy with his 7. Again, when the coach can send players out with tactics, but once they cross that line, ultimately it's up to the players what they produce, and too many sloppy passes from numerous players, you know, maybe killed some situations that we could have had. So overall, a draw is not a bad result. It leaves us 16th in the league with a host of other clubs that drew their games, and it's now imperative that we go and get 3 points on the board in our next game. And that's done.
Emerson, you got the conch.
Right. My ratings, Raya 10 because of the double save from the penalty. White, I'll give 6.5. Well, sorry, 7. Sorry, I'll give him 7 due to that he kept Lookman quiet throughout the whole match. Saliba, I'll give a 7.5. It would have been more, but as I said, he done a few good interceptions that when the Atalanta forwards got, you know, into our area. Gabriel, I'll give a 7. Timber, I'll give a 6.5. Although, you know, it wasn't one of his better games that he has played for Arsenal so far. Rice, I give 6.5. He done well in midfield, although he didn't penetrate like he normally does in midfield. Partey, I'll give 6. He done well too, but sometimes he gave the ball away. He was lucky that Atalanta didn't score from a penalty, of which it led to his mistake. But we know whether it was inside or outside the area, it's debatable. Havertz, surprised to see him play in midfield, but as I said, we haven't got no other player to play in that position. As you said in your ratings, as you said, with Ødegaard missing now for a month or 2. So hopefully he'll play up front on Sunday against Aston Villa. Oh, sorry, Man City. Sorry. Saka, he had a quiet game. I'll give him a 6. Jesus, very poor again. As you said, his play as a number 9 is not up to scratch to Arsenal's liking. I'll be surprised if we may offload him in January, but we'll see what happens when it comes to that part of the season, when it comes to the January sales. Martinelli, very poor again. Hopefully now Arteta knows he's got to choose Trossard, but if Trossard has a poor game against Man City, obviously he's going to rely on Martinelli to come on or Sterling. So being like that. Arteta, he got his tactics spot on. Surprised to see the lineup being like that, but as I said, he got his tactics spot on, being like that, and that is my player ratings for the Atalanta versus Arsenal game.
Excellent,
so roll on Sunday.
Excellent. Yeah, and that's really where we are, guys. Good night of Champions League football. Let me run into the results for you if I can find them. Where are we now? Let's just quickly get them here. They're showing them on the screen, but that's going to go before I can get them. So we can run down now. And here we go. So it's Leverkusen 4, Feyenoord 0. And Leverkusen were away from home there. Great victory for them. Red Star 1, Benfica 2. Benfica's away from home. Good result for them. Atletico beating Leipzig 2-1. Great result for them. Brest 2, Stern Greg 1. Monaco 2, Barcelona 0. That's a great result for them. Let's have a look at that one. That's a good result for them. Oh, no wonder. Eric Garcia got a red card after 10 minutes. So Barcelona played with 10 men for 80 minutes. And that's why they went down. And they were away from home. So that's
it was 1-0 to the 71st minute as well. So
yeah, that's an awful result for them. So yeah, guys, that's how we have it. We've got a couple of comments. Cranky saying it would just be it was Inter Milan that beat them 4-0. And you can see how good they are because they just took City to a 0-0 draw last night. So they've got no problem with that result whatsoever. Atalanta is still a good team, especially at home. I think they've struggled a little bit this season. Oh, let's listen to Arteta.
Not the nicest watch to watch because obviously everything becomes a man-to-man game everywhere. We started the game really well, really commanding the game, playing in the areas that we wanted to play, clear 1 or 2 chances, and after that, we gave a lot of goals away, very simply, and then we could not get any rhythm, momentum, or sequences of passes that would allow us to play in the areas that we wanted, and without conceding almost anything from the penalty. But on that moment, you needed probably one of the best saves that I've seen in my career, both the penalty and the second action from David.
Yeah, you've spoken about like moments of magic in these type of games, and sometimes it's not your forwards, it's your line of defence. And David Raya, he just seems to be getting better and better.
Yeah, he was unbelievable again today, and we needed the other end, the 2 big chances that we had with Gary to put them in the back of the net. This Europe, very different games to the Premier League. Boxes become crucial, and I know a lot of chances conceded or created, but a lot of positives, a lot of things are still for sure to improve.
Was it a slight surprise, or are you slightly disappointed they weren't at the levels that perhaps you would have liked ideally?
Well, it's a game that demands the best individually, and in order to do that, you need to have your players at your best, really composed, really good in duels, and certainly tonight we missed that.
Well, you said some positives there, Riccardo Calafiori. Finally, we saw him on the pitch.
Yeah, he was really good as well. I thought when he came on, I think the shop helped us.
Probably should have started Calafiori.
Dominate the game better, but we need to improve.
Well, good luck Sunday.
We probably should have. I think he should have started Calafiori. All right, guys. And so let's just go through. I think we've gone through everybody in there. Shout out to Victor. Victor wants the manager.
Victor's not happy, man.
No, Victor won't be happy until we sack Arteta. He's the only fan in the world, in the Arsenal fan base, that wants the manager sacked. He's got.
I can think of another one, but I won't mention no names.
Ken.
Unless me saying I ain't going to mention no names, and you just blurt it out.
unless Ken is Victor. Unless that's the same person. It
could be, I've had this suspicion for a while. You never seen them in the same room together.
All right, guys, thank you from us here at 101. Remember, we might have the Premier League show tomorrow night. If Tony's available, I'll be away. I'll be looking after my mum. My mum's got dementia, so I have to go out on some weekends to play my role, and so I've got to spend some time with mum. But look out for my video. I'm going to try and do a video early Saturday, and that is just going to be me and you sitting down in a room together, and we're just going to talk about my story of 101, how difficult I found it, how I set up, and then I need to really address and talk about my illness. And so that's going to be early Saturday. So I'm only going to spend 5 or 10 minutes with you guys to just talk about YouTube and my illness, really. As we are celebrating 1,000 videos this weekend for 101 on Arsenal.
Congratulations on that, mate.
Yeah, that's insane. In 4 years, could you imagine making 1,000 videos? What on earth? If you told me that 4 years ago,
had it not been for your health, it probably would have been even more.
Yeah, and talking about our league as well. Yeah, this is the Barclays Fantasy League, isn't it, Emerson? Is that correct? Yeah. Yeah, because we have our own Barclays League as well, which I send the results to on. Actually, I haven't sent the results. The results on the screen yet to you guys. So, guys, listen, that's it tonight. Arsenal, along with Man City, really. Man City had a goalless draw against Inter Milan last night, and then Arsenal draw again tonight. So both City and Arsenal winless, scoreless in the Champions League. Great night for the David Raya hero against that penalty, which was really harsh. Thomas Partey clipping a player's foot in the box. It wasn't a missed tackle. It wasn't on purpose. It was an accident. And it was penalized. He was penalized for it. And Raya with a double save. It was better than the save he had against Aston Villa. Martinelli missed a golden opportunity one-on-one late on, where he just blasted over the bar. And big game for Arsenal. Man City next on Sunday. And a decent result, really. I would take a draw there like I would to take on a draw tonight. We need to get over this issue with Ødegaard at the moment, where we're not going to be at our best, still producing results. So that's really it from us, guys. Nice from me and from Gary, and we'll catch up with you later.
See you later,
excellent, guys. Cheers, man. Nice one, guys.